Hey, yo, what's up? I hope you're well. My name is Ray Park. You may or may not know me. I played Darth Maul in Phantom Menace and Solo, and especially Snake Eyes in the Rise of Cobra and Retaliation. Bad movies rule. May the force be with you. And don't be like me. Eat your cookies.
Bad Movies Rule is the worst movie podcast ever created, and now you know, and knowing is half the battle! Let's go! We're talking about G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra!
This is going to be a good one of my favorite cars of all time.
The Cobra?
Yeah, the Shelby Cobra. This is going to be a great episode. All we're talking about is Cobras today.
That's what this movie's about.
Imagine if that's how he revealed himself. He just rolled out of there in a Cobra.
That would be fantastic.
Oh, come on. You would have loved that.
Most people don't know that it's 25% blue lasers, 25% red lasers.
What is?
And then 50% knowing is half the battle.
Yeah. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Because it's half.
Right over my
Right, yeah.
It's half the battle.
Got it.
But the other half is
red and blue.
25% blue lasers.
Gotcha.
25. Well, if I got to explain it.
Only because I'm an idiot, not because your joke's
I
not
got
funny.
you. All right.
No, the fault's all on this side.
I'm also an idiot.
I did wear my I'm old shirt.
Oh, look, red and blue lasers.
Yeah, right there.
There you go. I'm old. Nice. Literally, I thought it said G.I. Joe for the last 20 minutes I've been
Didn't
in
even
here.
read it.
I didn't even notice. That's incredible.
You're welcome.
Welcome in, guys. Of course, Kurt, the Machine Punter Mummer, is here for a G.I. Joe episode.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and get this thing going.
Clint, the Dirt
Yo,
Farmer,
Joe.
is here. He's on the pun counter. We're ready to roll, and we have Stephanie Farrell joining us as well. Welcome back.
What's up?
I'm so happy you're here. It's first time since Revenge of the Ninja, right?
The Ninja, that's right.
And we just got another special movie on the dock here today. G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, 2009. We were so excited, weren't we? Were we? I don't remember. Wait, I don't think I was.
2009? Heck yeah.
You were pumped, probably.
I was totally pumped. I was there opening night.
5 years earlier, I'm just guessing. Tell me if I'm wrong. 24-year-old Kurt Mummer on the internet.
Yep.
Reads that, they're making a G.I. Joe movie.
Yes.
At that point, starring somebody else, directed by someone else.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
And for 5 years, you tracked the progress.
I did. Absolutely.
Whether or not this movie was
I was still printing out sheets at that time. Because, I can't screenshot the phone.
Guys, now it looks like Channing Tatum is going to star in the movie.
He's going to be Duke? What?
Yes.
Oh,
incredible.
they're going with a young cast then.
Our girls were 5 and 3. We were thinking about this movie 0.
No, not at all.
No.
Right. I was knee deep in JoJo's circus and Dora the Explorer and all that stuff.
Ridiculousness.
Right.
No,
I was knee deep in Channing Tatum, just not this movie.
Whoa. How you doing?
Hey, all right.
I didn't know it was down like that, but okay.
For those of you who never joined the show
never
before, if this is your first time listening or your 180th time listening to Bad Movies Rule, welcome in. We are going to go through the vitals here, tell you all the particulars about the movie, how it qualifies for our show. Again, just because we're named Bad Movies Rule, it only means that we judge movies that have been labeled bad by critics or audiences. We'll make our own determination at the end. We're going to go through the movie scene by scene, and then we're going to give out some awards. So what do you guys say we dive into the vitals here?
Let's go.
Directed by Stephen Sommers. Do you guys, are you aware of him and his work? Or
No.
anything else he's ever done? I guarantee you've probably seen a very famous movie of his that you probably liked.
We did talk about it.
Yeah.
Ryan and I talked about it, and I don't remember what he said.
The Mummy.
Yes,
Brendan
that's
Fraser.
Right, that's right.
I saw the dude.
Yeah.
That explains
there.
why
Like, hey,
he's
the
in this
mummy.
movie.
There's a few of them in here.
Yeah. Though almost the entire cast of The Mummy shows up in this film.
movie.
Yeah.
Except the only one I gave a crap about, Rachel Weisz. Where is she? Not in here.
She would have been a great Lady J.
I don't know why they had like the whole parade of mummy stars in the movie and not Rachel. She must have been
And
busy
she was
that
the
day.
natural brunette.
I know. Exactly. Thank you. Didn't have to dye her hair. She could have been great instead of Sienna Miller. Movie was directed, like I said, by Stephen Sommers. He written by Stuart Beattie, who wrote some big time movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl,
Oh, that's such a good movie.
the Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx movie Collateral, which is really good. A bunch of other really great movies.
That's Ryan's favorite movie of all time.
Collateral. I think I remember him talking to me about that
His
before.
I'm not going to say his whole email address, but it's Mr. Collateral something.
No, it's not.
It sure is.
Oh, too bad you don't know it by
Sorry,
heart. 'Cause
babe, I love you.
I'd put it out there right now and have everybody spam the crap out of him.
Y'all want to spam Ryan? I'll just give it to DH9K. I'm sure
There you
she's.
go. Oh,
She's already got it.
she's out of commission right now, but hopefully she'll be better soon.
Oh.
But when I saw he wrote it, I was like, well, this is a totally competent writer. How is that possible? But then there's two other writers, David Elliott and Paul Lovett, who are two writing partners who wrote Four Brothers and The Watcher, that terrible serial killer movie starring Keanu Reeves.
I love Four Brothers.
Four Brothers was good.
Yeah.
That's Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I got a soft spot for all Marky Mark.
Yeah.
I got a problem.
No, it's all good. But The Watcher is an objectively terrible movie. It's Keanu Reeves. He's a serial killer. He had to do it. He was contractually obligated to fulfill, like, with the studio. Terrible, terrible, terrible movie. We'll probably do it someday on the show.
I was gonna say.
Movie starred Channing Tatum, Sienna Miller, Marlon Wayans. Listen to this cast. Dennis Quaid.
Has quite a cast.
Yes, Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth Doctor himself, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ray Park, and Lee Byung-hun, as well as just a slew of other people in this movie.
Brendan Fraser
Brendan Fraser makes a little cameo in here, right?
Yeah.
Arnold Vosloo, the Mummy.
And
Yes.
and the kid from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, yes, him as well. Love it.
And he played like the same character.
It was the same year, basically. 1 year later, right? 08 was
Okay.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
09 was G.I. Joe. The budget for this movie was, good God, $175 million.
That seems light.
$200 million.
Yeah.
For what?
They thought they were going to sell the hell out some
for
toys.
90s CGI.
Not one vehicle in this movie was really there. I don't
I
think
know.
the civilians driving around Paris, I don't think they were really there. So they
It was
didn't
just-
have one
This
thing.
entire movie was just a green screen. The whole thing.
I know. I'm hoping someday they'll make a live action G.I. Joe movie. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be great.
But this is
Today
just
is not that day.
the next cartoon version of G.I. Joe.
Well, I already know where I stand on this movie.
Oh, yeah.
But my first impression was that it seemed a little like video gamey. You know, like that's. I even asked.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, don't hate me, Kurt.
No, that's
I didn't
fine.
grow up with like GI Joe. Like I didn't.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're no longer best friends. But that was my first initial reaction, was that it seemed kind of video gamey. So I did ask
Absolutely.
Ryan. I was like, did they have a video game? Like, is it like loosely based off a video game? Because I didn't want to say that and him be like, oh, well, you know, well, there is one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Look, almost everything in this movie is animated. And Kurt, if you love this movie, get ready to defend it today, buddy.
All right.
All right.
we're coming for you.
Box office, so $175 million budget. Box office was only $300 million.
Only.
Which, yes. Well, but
doesn't make it.
Doesn't make it. They lose money on that because half goes to the theaters. So,
At 175 million?
yeah. So
That would be 350 they'd need to make to break even.
they made
see.
150 million bucks back after costs, minus marketing. So even less than that, probably. So yeah, when you spend, like, look at the Flash movie came out. That was a $200 million movie. Right?
Yeah.
For that to be successful, like for them to consider like doing more and having it be like a hit, it's got to make 750 million, $1 billion. That's what these guys are. These comic book movies. If they don't make $1 billion, the studio's like, what the hell happened, right?
What did
Yeah,
the Flash
it's
end up
crazy.
making? Now I'm curious.
But I mean, this
it's
is
not great.
2009. So
Right,
like,
but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, because of so much cost that gets sunk into that, it's
Yeah,
it's-
I get
it's
you.
hard, so, but they still got a sequel made.
That's true.
Retribution, right?
Yeah.
And then recently, the Snake Eyes Origin,
yeah.
2021. Haven't
Yes.
seen that one either. I think I was busy that day.
The one day it was in
It was the
theaters.
one day it was in theaters.
Well, it doesn't follow its own lore, so
Oh,
they
great.
kind of changed the whole, like, who he is as a character.
They just his whole backstory.
Well,
we sat
'cause-
through 17 flashbacks for nothing.
Yeah, we got
Well,
we got 35 minutes of his backstory in this movie. Do we need an origin?
yeah, I immediately was like, oh, James is going to love this movie. 9 flashbacks I'm on now.
And we're 5 minutes in.
It's crazy.
I was like, hopefully there's no flashbacks within a flashback.
I know. I was waiting for the Ghost of Mars to happen, man.
Yeah.
I was waiting. Movie currently sits at a 5.7 on IMDb, which is middle of the road for us. It's tied with Boyfriend School, also a 5.7. So, Kurt, two of your favorite.
I'm already
movies.
out. This is BS.
According to the internet, this is the exact same
Boyfriend
quality
School?
as Boyfriend School.
Nope.
Okay. I'm not
I
buying
disagree
that.
with that big fat one. That's a big disagree, no can do.
Another 5.7 we did before was Short Circuit 2. So this is just to give you an idea of the level that we're at here right now. Movie currently has split audiences. Audience score is exactly 50%. Okay, so people
I buy that.
love it or hate it.
I buy that
For sure.
because
Kurt, have you voted on IMDb for this?
many times in the positive.
Can you sway?
Yes.
Can you sway it to that 51?
I'm trying. I'm still on
doing it right now.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm trying to get on there.
Critics were a little less
What's the
kind
password over here?
for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I don't even know it, to be honest.
We're the worst movie podcast show ever. It's a lot.
It's on
all
the back of the
capitals.
modem. You got to go look it up. The critics were a little less kind, 33%. So a third of critics gave it a positive score, which honestly is higher than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And 2/3 said, no, thank you very much. And that's how we ended up with it qualifying for the show. So audiences, at least on IMDb, have said, not great. They're split on Rotten Tomatoes, and the critics have said, nope, this is bad.
and it didn't really crush money.
No, I mean,
It didn't bomb,
it didn't bomb.
but it didn't crush.
I've seen movies that spent that much money and took an absolute bath.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it didn't crush. Got a sequel. And the sequel, some people think, is even better than this one.
I agree with that.
I haven't seen Retribution yet,
I haven't either.
so I'm sure we will when we do the episode for it on this show.
No, we're just gonna go
Retaliation.
with that one.
What did I keep saying? Retribution?
Retribution.
Yeah, retaliation. Sorry.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Not spelling wise.
True.
Not if you want to be right. If that matters at all to you.
Nope, not on this show.
Obviously,
Clearly not.
obviously, I don't care about that.
No, obviously not. Look, thank you guys. Obviously, you don't care about quality, and that's why you're listening to Bad Movies Rule. And so we appreciate that you don't have discerning taste.
Good segue.
And that you will listen. You know, I'm sure if the critics rated us, we'd be right at around the 33% mark, and that's fine.
That's
That's-
generous.
I think
wow.
that's high.
We're not in this for the critics. We're in this for the audience, and so we appreciate you guys that have been listening to us for 180 episodes. We really, really appreciate you. If you
so
want
many.
to reach out, it's a ton.
It's
All
amazing.
15 of you guys, you coming over for dinner next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making chicken.
And
Can't wait.
we're on our way to 200 for Armageddon. We'll just keep get out there.
I'm so excited.
Close.
I cannot wait.
Should be around February, March.
I'm telling you, I've already told you this. How many times, James?
I know.
If I'm not on that episode, we are no longer friends.
It's going to be like when we did Mummer Man. There's going to be 8 people in here.
Armageddon.
Everybody wants to be on the Armageddon episode.
It's just such a.
Yeah.
Okay, just
I know.
continue.
All right. But anyway, if you want to reach out to the show, we love one of the 10 poles of BMR is interaction with our listeners. And so if you want to reach out, we'll have you on our mailbag episode. It's thisshowIstrash@gmail.com, or you can call us, leave us a voicemail, 262-757-8567. Let us know why G.I. Joe rules. If you think, I'm out to lunch here and Kurt's right, defend it. Hit us with a letter. I want to hear what you guys think about this. There's no such thing as a bad movie subjectively, right? If you like it and you enjoy it, then great. Like what you like. It's all good. That's what I'm saying.
Amen.
So if you want to support the show, help us keep the lights on, you can do that at patreon.com/badmoviesrule. Big shout out and big thank you to the patrons that are already on there. You guys are all rock stars. We appreciate and love each and every one of you guys. And as for today, guys, one more thing to do here to pay some bills, and let's get to it. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
I thought it too.
I wish I was.
NBA Jams too.
I played NBA Jam. My kids took little side. I know you guys hate when podcasts start talking about other things other than the movie, so this would be 30 seconds, but you just triggered something.
No, you got it.
For Father's Day, it took a month because we've been so busy, but for Father's Day, my kids brought me to this retro arcade up in Maguanago,
Okay.
and it had all of the old, like, Ben Franklin video games. we used to
Yes.
play. And one of them was the old NBA Jam, and I sat there for like a half an hour with Karl Malone and John Stockton just smashing fools. Great.
Another sidetrack.
Yes.
Me and Bob, just when we did the X-Men episode for Cartoon Clubhouse,
Yeah.
we talked about the X-Men arcade coming out.
Yes, they had that
and
there.
that was huge at Ben Franklin.
Yeah, they had it there.
That
and
was
they had
a good one.
the Ninja Turtles game, and they had the Simpsons game.
Oh, The Simpsons was great.
Oh, come on.
Marge with her vacuum
BMR
cleaner.
outing.
Yes,
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys, let's dive into G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, shall we?
Yeah.
The movie opens just like you'd expect a G.I. Joe movie to, in the 1600s
Yes.
Yes.
Destro's family.
with some guy named McCullen.
Yeah, McCullen.
I was like, is this the right thing? We backed out and checked. I was like, what did we rent?
Hold on, is this G.I. Joe?
Like, did I just spend $4 on the wrong movie?
Is this Beowulf? What is this?
Just so you know, this is accurate.
It's actually Saw.
It's in the cartoon.
Oh, great.
This whole scene is in the cartoon.
I'm so happy.
Thank God you're here.
I'm just saying.
No, that's good. That's
They
good.
took less time to explain it in the cartoon. It was like a minute 18.
Yeah, because here this guy's going on. and on.
Just on and on
He's
about
in-
the mask.
He's in trouble about. He's been double dealing weapons to both sides of whatever stupid war they were fighting back in the 1800s or so.
He's so cocky about it too. He's just like, oh, ha, 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 ha. And then when they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to like melt this mask to your face. He's
Yeah.
like, no.
Clan McCullen will
Like-
rise again, and will
He's
people
like, kill me. That's fine.
Yeah.
generations
right,
will come
exactly.
down. Just
Yeah.
like blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
If you're going to talk so
Big
much
curse.
crap, you better stand behind it, even when they're coming at your face with
Well, and here's the thing.
a metal
They've got this
heat mask.
red hot not molten, but like just red hot mask that they sandwich his head in. You will have to wear this for the rest of your life. 14 seconds.
Easily.
14 seconds until his brain stops functioning.
It would, all joking aside, because I know this has become a turn of phrase people use, but it would literally melt your brain.
Yes.
Okay. It would cook your brain inside your own head. That's it. All she wrote.
Yeah.
He was wearing that
He did
around.
not wear that long.
Right. But
Afterward, he had a mask that was made of a cold compress just to help him out with that,
Nice.
to reverse the effects of the heat.
Cut to present time. It's a NATO meeting where, we're like 17 McCullens later and they haven't gotten any more attractive. Here's
Nope.
Chris Eccleston
I love this guy.
as McCullen. Dude, great actor.
Yeah.
He was the 9th Doctor, Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Love it.
What he was in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in
Nicolas
60
Cage, Gone in
Seconds.
60 Seconds. Fantastic bad guy there too.
He was the head of the Dark Elves in Thor: The Dark World.
I think he's fantastic.
Great actor.
I love him as Destro.
It's great with his giant ears, like a taxi going down the street with the doors open.
Yeah.
Like Dumbo.
It's awesome.
He almost took off.
And then his career tanked. No.
He's basically begging for money from NATO to finance these
Warheads.
nanomite nightmare rockets. Okay, that when they blow up, they just start eating the metal
Metal.
of whatever it is, and it just won't stop until you hit a kill switch, which is specific to each rocket.
But you can also inject them into people.
Everybody got that?
Okay, it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can inject them into people to help fix stuff or kill stuff.
That can do
Or
anything.
control stuff.
Yeah.
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 Depending on if the doctor allows it or not to.
And there's red ones and green ones.
Yep.
And there's blue ones.
they
We didn't
come
get
in
to see those. Those
purple?
are minty. Yes.
Oh, good. That's my favorite color.
Minty
want-
nanobites.
I want spearmint, please.
Great.
Oh, these ones are cinnamon.
They're watching this demonstration of this thing like eating a city in digital form, right?
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, cool.
And they're all like, oh, aren't you? Only Hawk, Dennis Quaid's there, and only he's like, what the frick is
Yeah.
like?
General Hawk.
and
hell
yeah,
no.
everyone is just like cheering. They're like, this is amazing. I'm like, did you watch the presentation? This is terrifying.
He's like, is everyone
awful.
seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes.
No? Yes? Maybe?
Like Nick Cage said in The Rock, it's the kind of thing you wish you could disinvent, right? Like,
Yeah.
if we just uninvent this thing that you've made, that would be awesome. I don't want this to exist in a world that I live in.
I don't want to be on this planet anymore.
That's like,
But yet McCullen's got them hired.
Because what if it blows up and you like, because I lose my keys all the time. You just don't know where the kill switch thing is.
You accidentally
Oh, you
drop
get-
it on the floor near your feet.
It's
it goes down a vent.
It's like
no!
in your driveway where you pulled out. Do you know what I mean? Like you just left it there. So
Like,
you're
I
at the
swear,
office.
I swear I had it. Sir, half of New York is gone. Hold on,
By the
hold
time
on.
you
I
get
just need to run home.
The world is gone before you can get home.
From a plumbing standpoint, that would be amazing to get rid of some of the old plumbing. You're just like, oh, you got galvanized piping? Pew!
Be great.
Let me
Get rid
just
of the-
shoot some nanomites on there.
Get rid of the house while you're at it.
Yeah, just, well, some of it's wood. It should be all right.
There's so much metal in the earth. Like, the earth would just be completely destroyed.
Right. It'd be like never-ending story when there's just floating portions of the earth with like buildings on it and stuff.
The end.
The end.
What a
That's
great
it.
movie.
We cut to now they've got to transport these warheads. There's 4 of them that they've made. All this exposition's important for later. And Duke and Ripcord. Important note: these were their names before they were part of GI Joe.
Right.
Okay, so I think part of the recruitment is that like, do you have a cool name? Awesome.
yeah, once you join G.I. Joe, you get a code name.
Right.
Right.
But they already had
They
They already had their nicknames. Yeah. Well,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That was their parents' dream for them.
Yeah.
They were like, we need to name them accordingly.
Then maybe we'll have an extra
Accordingly, ripcord.
Ripcord. That
Nice.
it was still him though. Mine was unintentional.
show. Duke and Ripcord, Marlon Wayans and Channing Tatum are going to deliver the warheads to wherever they're supposed to be. I don't even know if they say someone somewhere else. Doesn't even matter. They have the drive to the mission, so it's banter / establish our friendship time in the movie, right?
Yep.
I've been thinking. I told you about that.
Right.
I
Remember
warned
that
you about
time that we talked about me wanting to be in the Air Force because I'm so good at flying planes?
Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been flying
Wink,
planes
wink.
since I was 13.
Nudge, nudge. That'll be important later.
I want to join the Army. Let's join the Air Force. Nope, Army.
I want to be where the action is. And they're going back and forth, basically just establishing their characters. And eventually they realize they're one click past the rendezvous. And I'll admit it right here in front of everybody. I don't know what the hell a click is. I've been listening to it in the freaking movies forever. And I always hear it. I'm always like, yes, 4 clicks north. Great.
Did you say kilometer?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. I never knew that. No one's
I
ever
am
explained it to me.
Only mostly sure of that. So please tell us how
Please,
I'm
internet,
wrong.
go ahead and correct us if need
Yeah,
be.
please tear us apart. Thank you.
They're one click past the rendezvous. And right then, an alien spaceship attacks the
Yes.
convoy.
Yeah,
Okay.
with some like sonic blast.
How the hell would
Right,
you...
like that's what I thought it was. Like it's
Yes.
it's aliens, right? Like
Wouldn't you think that?
Because it moves in no
Yeah,
way
however.
that any aircraft that we came up with would move.
No. And it looks like a space. Duke's
It
got to be
does.
sitting there, and why doesn't anyone of them go, there's freaking aliens here?
Yeah, there's aliens.
Because it's straight up a spaceship.
Well, and I like that the fighters in the sky are like, oh no, we're the only ones up here, and then immediately it's like, and there's like the other thing. You're like, well,
cloaking
you
technology.
missed that.
Dude, they've got this freaking phaser gun on this thing. The Apache choppers come in and try to take it out, and they fire this phaser gun that's so technologically advanced, it has the ability to slow down and stop long enough for the pilot to go, oh my God.
Yep.
And then blow them up.
Yeah.
Oh, and like the most amount, he's like, oh my God.
They're coming in hot. Did you see this? The
Yes,
phaser's
I
coming out,
saw
and it goes, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay, now are we good?
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
I was all in. Yes!
I love it.
Blow that good guy out of the sky.
All right.
You know this is Cobra.
Here we
Let's
go.
do it.
Oh, no. Who's Cobra? We
I
don't know.
knew.
There's no Cobra.
I
Cobra
knew.
doesn't even exist.
What is this movie even about?
There's no such thing as Cobra yet.
No,
they're there.
Come on. Duke's
They're
Humvee.
deep underground.
Yeah, they are.
Deep underground.
Deeply closeted.
Yes.
Yes.
They're down where it's cold.
Way down yonder.
G.I. Joe, too, apparently. Welcome to the pit.
Joe. That's true. Duke's Humvee he's in with Riptide gets flipped. Like the sonic blast goes under the Humvee and it flips
Just
it over.
flips it over.
And,
explosions
it
ensue.
flips it like a lot.
Yeah.
And they're just
Yeah.
like, you good? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, well, they got plot armor. They're good.
Yeah. He also has an ever-changing scar that gets longer and shorter as the
Just
movie
depending
goes.
on what scene you're in. Sure.
Depending on what scene you're in.
Yeah.
I love it. So while he's flipped over, the aliens land. Turns out the aliens are hot as frick.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what I'm talking about.
As soon as
Get
they
some
get
of
out,
those.
I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah, my Cobra rised.
Some hot-ass aliens.
Lord.
You know, what's up? What's up, girl?
I was like,
You know,
what's up? That is
You
the
see Channing
Baroness.
Tatum? He's underneath the Humvee. He's like, so what's up? You from around here? Or?
How's it going? Oh, wait, I know you.
Ripcord's like, my leg is badly bleeding. Can you help me? Sorry, I got this girl.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Duke does
Knows
save
her.
Duke
Yeah.
saves his boy and leaves the world-damaging briefcase.
He's like, I got to
Alone.
get you
Back
out of
in
here
the Humvee.
first.
Back
I'd
in
be
the
like,
Humvee.
no, you don't. Please go get the case.
The case. Anna grabs the case, and this is what we don't even know her name is Anna. She's the Baroness.
Yeah.
She's the G.I. Joe character. Baroness.
Which I want to say, this was the first part as a fan of G.I. Joe to go, bad choice here. Bad
what way?
choice not to give her the Baroness suit.
Oh, she had a specific suit.
Yeah, where it's got the Cobra emblem on it.
Yeah.
And like the armored plating. And there's more, like it's a much cooler suit than I feel they gave her.
She basically just looks like a dominatrix. And you know that wherever she's walking, she's like, wacka, 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 wacka,
Brothers just-
as like the rubber rubs together.
Well, I think it's just because Cobra wasn't a thing.
Cobra wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
We didn't have Cobra. This isn't Cobra.
So it's almost like Batman
Because
Begins
how
when
is
he
the
didn't have a
Cobra-
suit.
Cobra
He just had
has
a,
to rise?
he just had a bandana. It's like Batman with the bandana, and
Yeah.
the suit's not there yet.
So I'm just saying, still, even with the glass shards or the pieces of mirror that are on
Yeah.
her chesticles, Like that is not.
Is that
like
the
I would have
anatomical
much
term?
rather seen at least maybe armor plating or something a little cooler.
Yeah.
I just was like, I felt like the reveal was a little like missed.
It doesn't seem practical for a battlefield.
You know how I knew she was evil?
How?
She's a brunette.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. That's
All
right.
brunettes are evil.
You know, Captain Hawk has the
General Hawk.
Is it General?
It's
Did they
General
call him a
Hawk.
captain at one point in the movie?
He was like offended.
Whatever.
General.
General Hawk has this blonde that follows him around, right?
That's Cover Girl.
Is that her name?
That's her name.
Because she talked like a freaking robot. She sounded like DH. I have the intelligence, sir. It has come for you, and here it is.
Well, I don't think. I think she was basically hired for looks versus her acting skill.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Cover Girl in the cartoon was very
Easy, breezy, beautiful.
Cover Girl. Yeah, she was definitely a model in the show.
All right. As she grabs the case, this is when Duke recognizes her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man,
It's like,
Anna?
yeah.
you go to all these lengths to avoid running into your ex and imagine like
And she comes down as an alien force and
Right.
takes a case
You're
from
like,
you.
damn
it.
it.
You're like, am I dreaming? What is happening right now? I've had a lot of dreams like this, but they don't
Right.
normally end this way.
Well, and
here, I can't even go on a mission without running into you. Are you following me? What's going on?
Anna, I said it was over. God, leave me alone.
50
crazy
feet,
stalker.
Anna. 50 feet.
Honestly.
Don't forget about that restraining order, Anna.
Oh my gosh.
We've all had those.
She does recognize.
I mean, stalkers, not restraining orders.
She recognized him though before he recognized her.
Right.
She did the cool little like, let me touch the side of my glasses.
Her glasses are cool.
And then it was like pew pew pew, and like went into his face, and then
Right.
it was like gave him. And she's like, oh, I know who that is.
and
That's
then
Duke.
G.I. Joe show up. Like,
Yes.
Joe gets snake eyes
Yeah.
coming down Ray Park, just clapping fools. Laser crossbow chick.
Doing that's Scarlet.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you got it. No
Laser-
problem.
Laser Scarlet, whatever. Talk about aimbot, dude. I thought about that was crazy. She just could
Yep,
like
I want that.
shoot it up in the air right in the guy's eyeball.
Yeah.
Crazy aimbot. I wanted those guys to get more angry. Like, oh,
Just so
she's
you know-
hacking. She's hacking.
Those bad guys are called Vipers.
Neo Vipers.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you right now,
Yep.
I'm probably going to mess up all of the
I don't care.
terminology.
I'm helping you out. That's what I'm here for. That's why you got me here.
I should
today.
say this now, and I'm happy you're here. For this reason is why I put you on here. Even though I'm an 80s kid and grew up at the same time as you, I wasn't a big G.I. Joe kid. So I was...
No problem.
No. So I was watching like He-Man, Thundercats, Silverhawks,
Silverhawks
Okay.
loved it.
but Transformers a little bit and not really G.I. Joe. So Transformers and G.I. Joe I kind of missed a little bit.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until those movies came out that I started getting more into it.
Well, and they're owned by the same company,
Got it.
Hasbro.
Yeah.
So they want to do supposedly.
Yeah.
The internet is all like, oh yeah, this has to happen.
Gotcha.
But they want a Transformers GI Joe crossover movie.
Were you a big
I can see it.
Were you a big G.I. Joe?
I watched G.I. Joe as a kid. I watched the Bozo Show before school.
Yeah, sure.
It's about how much time we had. And,
That was a great one, too.
Some days it was G.I. Joe. Some days it was Looney Tunes stuff. Some days it was Thundercats.
Right.
Like we watched different stuff on different days because that's what time the Bozo Show was on and it was what they played.
Right.
I can tell you, honestly, I'm thinking about this because I was so stoked to come and do Thundercats with you and stuff, and I still am. But it's like, I don't remember the cartoons. I remember the cartoons. I watched them. I don't remember any of the plots of any of these.
Right.
I look at these movies like, I don't remember this stuff. I bet if we watched
remember
it,
some
they
of
would
the
come into my face.
Well, and that's
I would
what
be
the
like,
80s
okay,
was
that's the thing.
all about. I mean, it was literally bad guys show up, good guys stop bad guy,
Yeah.
bad guy leaves, retreats to have another episode.
Yeah, that was
and
my
that
feeling
was
about
repeat,
this.
wash, repeat,
Was
wash.
100%. And my wife and daughter are like, they don't kill anybody. They don't. It's like, yeah, they need them for the next cartoon. Like legitimately, nobody dies.
No.
It's just a fight, and somebody won, somebody lost, and they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are, in this case, able to chase the bad guys away. She's not able to get away, Baroness, with the briefcase. And Duke and Riptide,
Ripcord.
Duke and Ripcord have the case, and the G.I. Joes are standing there like, give that to us.
Yep.
And Duke's like, kiss my ass. I'm
Yeah,
not
he's
giving
like,
it.
I have a
This is
mission.
my job.
I have a mission to.
They're like, we're here to help. He's like, I don't really feel that way right now.
I didn't get any information that someone was helping us
yeah,
out.
you guys were shooting at me first, and then there's that little like standoff.
No,
Right.
we're not the enemy.
And then I love General Hawk is a hologram.
Holohawk.
Yeah,
And
Holohawk.
They have to make sure that you know that.
Yes.
So, like, they have to, it's very, 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 set up so that you know it's a hologram.
Right.
They
stick
love
that thing.
holograms
They
in this movie.
love
Oh, yeah,
holograms.
it's their
It is
favorite.
Like,
everywhere.
They're like, do you see how advanced we are? Let me show
Steven-
you again. Did you
Steven
miss it?
Summers.
I'll show you again.
They almost didn't even have to pay the actors.
Yeah.
Like, can we just get a picture of you? All right, we got this.
Yeah, and now we'll just make your mouth move.
That's how it is today.
There was a lot of like characters that were there but not there, and you didn't know if they were really there or not
Until they
there.
got walked
Until
through.
they got walked through or
And you're
nearby
like, oh, another hologram.
So the ones that are here in this scene, the Joes that show up is Heavy Duty,
Yep. Scarlet,
Scarlet,
Snake Eyes,
Snake Eyes,
Breaker.
and Breaker. Breaker's the nerdy dude.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And then General Hawk.
General Hawk.
He's like, we're
and
from-
Cover Girl shows up periodically
Yes.
into the. Here's
Yeah.
your file, sir, on Ripcord.
Was this? Are you in a hologram right now? Sorry.
I just would have loved to see her like, oh,
It's like in the background.
Yeah.
just steps out. Sorry.
He's like, we're from a new outfit. You go ahead and bring those warheads to me. And so he's like, all right, fine. They're going to bring them to General Hawk. And on the plane ride over, they talk about shoehorning in. They want to shoehorn in one of these G.I. Joe things from the commercial. So they drug up Ripcord because he's injured.
Yep.
And then he starts reaching over towards Heavy Duty like, you have lifelike hair and a kung fu grip.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's literally from the commercial for G.I. Joe. Got to get that in there. They get to the base, and Hawk starts explaining how they are all first of all, I mean, the base itself is freaking ridiculous.
Yes.
Okay.
It's over the top.
It's so ridiculous that it almost seems not real.
That's it. Megaforce is what I kept thinking of.
They nailed this with Megaforce's hallway. that
Yes.
they,
It looked exactly like. First of all, he goes, "We're all from the nation's best militaries, the best."
Yep.
I'm like, Megaforce.
Yep.
We're in this giant underground bunker, Megaforce, with all these multiple levels to it, Megaforce. But hold on a second. Is this just a high budget Megaforce? Is that
It
what
is.
we're watching?
That's what G.I. Joe became. Yes.
It makes me think of Men in Black when
Yes.
he's like, "Who are you?" We're like, "We're the best of the best of the best, sir,
Sure. That's right.
with honors."
There's like 47 floors. One floor is just water.
Yeah, it's just
Yep.
water, and they're like practicing like water sports or like craziness in there. Like
They're doing water polo.
they're doing water polo and
Their
skiing.
horses are drowning.
There's a the Tommy Bartlett ski show is
Synchronized
going to be
swimming.
here next week.
Tell me Bartlett ski show.
Get the people on the pyramid skiing across there. We just do this for fun.
Snake Eyes is just at the top, like waving.
To be honest, we're really overfunded, and we've got to do something to justify the budget for this place. So we got to just spend the
Snake
money.
Eyes is just in a helmet and Bermuda shorts.
Hey guys,
His swords are just still strapped to his back.
there's like a snow floor. There's desert floor. You're already in a desert. Just go upstairs,
Just go upstairs.
right?
Just go up a few flights.
They're in Egypt or somewhere in the middle of the Sahara
in
Desert.
Egypt.
Okay. Hawk's blonde secretary comes by. I welcome you to the G.I. Joe base.
That's Cover Girl.
Cover girl, thank you.
You got it.
What did you say?
Hawk secretary.
Hawk's secretary.
I don't know why, but I thought you said Bond girl, and I don't know why that popped in my
Blonde
head.
girl.
Blonde girl.
Yes, sorry, cover girl.
A Bond girl.
She's a good guy because she's blonde.
Here is
Exactly.
here is the intel, sir, that we have so far. Thank you. Smile. Exit left.
You were so happy when she got stabbed, didn't you? Like, I don't got to watch her anymore.
This is when Hawk's like, all right, this is the Baroness. We have to know everything about her.
But we
Because
don't.
knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
Oh.
I looked at. Oh, they did the thing.
Yeah.
Said the thing.
Gotta do it.
They said it.
G.I. Joe's PSAs were the best. That's when they would use that, right?
yeah.
From the PSAs.
Them and Masters of the Universe, absolutely.
If your uncle is touching you in weird places, call the police. Now you know.
Do you
because
remember
knowing is half the battle.
Roadblock? Roadblock always rhymed. He always had I was so disappointed, and we can talk about that later in the
Yes,
next movie.
in the
But
next
in Retaliation,
Yeah.
Rock never rhymed as Roadblock, and it made me sad.
Lame.
I'm like, why don't you have any cool rhyming?
Lame. That's why they should have had John Cena play Roadblock. He would have rhymed.
So we wouldn't
Yeah.
have had to watch it.
Yeah, you would have never seen him though.
Seen him.
Right.
He would have been gone.
I love that joke will never die.
McCollin, I almost sound like Arnold there for a second. McCollin
Well, now we know who Arnold's going to be.
hologram calls in to check in on the warheads because he's like, oh, these almost got stolen, you idiots. You're supposed to protect them.
Yeah.
Really, he's just I mean, everyone knew immediately he was the bad guy. Yes,
Sure.
I'm assuming
Yeah. Yep.
everybody.
English accent in
Yeah.
a cartoon movie. Bad guy.
Was that English?
Makes-
I'm pretty sure it's Scottish.
Sorry. Whatever. You know what I'm saying.
But makes
That's what I
world
meant. I'm stupid.
makes world-eating rockets.
Remember?
Like that was the first clue,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Guy creates world-eating rockets. He's not the bad guy.
No, not at all.
He was just reactivating the tracking on the cases. That's why he popped in. Okay. Then we go back on McCullen's ship, and he's talking to the Baroness, right? And he's like, "Why'd you mess up? It's because your boyfriend, isn't it? Do you like him more than me?"
Did you hesitate?
She's like, I don't even know what you're
Did you
talking
hesitate?
about.
She's like, I'm brunette now, okay? That's in the past.
That means I'm a bad guy.
I mean, duh.
You should know this
you should
already.
Trust me at this point. I am brunette.
Yeah, but I bet you're thinking about him.
Maybe a little.
It's just highlights.
It's so middle schooly.
Yes.
She says to him at one point, "If you were here, I might even let you touch me." I'm like, if this dude could bang a hologram, he would right now on this
Well,
airplane.
and then you realize there's like 3 other people in the room, but like not.
He tries to grab the hologram. Come here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great? He just reaches his finger out, like just touches the upper part of her shoulder, and just goes through, and he's like, huh?
Tries to grab her boob.
Dang it.
Dang it. I can never know when you're here. I tell you,
Well,
never
then-
be a hologram in front of me.
Well, and I
Right,
love
and,
like
then, and then he's got to have this like boner, right? And then he turns around and Emotep's just like sitting there, like, isn't he uncomfortable?
Right, here's Emotep just whistling.
Zartan.
That I don't know why.
Yes,
There's something about what he's whistling.
he's a jolly good fellow.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Just drives me nuts.
Storm Shadow shows up with his fidget spinner.
Yes, the deadly fidget spinner, Storm Cloud.
Storm
Cloud.
Shadow.
Storm Cloud.
Isn't it the same thing? When a storm
what shadows
rolls
does
in,
a storm make?
Yeah, when a storm rolls in, is it not storm clouds
That make the shadow?
that make the shadow?
When there's a shadow of a storm, it's because of the clouds.
Yeah.
My God.
Okay.
Technicality.
I mean, Bray Park didn't have snake eyes.
We don't know. We had
He
a
wasn't
visor
a
on
bad
the
guy.
whole time.
You can't see.
I wish they would have pulled it up at one point, and then it just.
It's
That's why you never call me Rattler. You're a dead man, Storm Shadow. No wonder you never talk.
and he's got lips. The stupid suit has
He
lips.
has-
That's the one thing that pissed me off with this movie. He never had lips. He had a helmet. That's
Well,
not.
that's like-
why do you have lips? You don't even talk. It's like putting nipples on the bat suit. Just knock it off.
So he could still catch a kiss if he wanted to.
From who?
Anybody.
Anyone
that
Nobody's
can't
kissing Snake
Feel
Eyes.
it through a mask.
Freaking hologram.
Yes,
Who
who
knows?
knows? Thank you,
There's
Clint.
plenty of them.
I just wanted someone to reach out and just like just right on his lips.
Maybe he had lips.
His suit made me question his race until the flashbacks, and I was like, wait,
You just assumed he was a black guy?
his suit is like fitted to him in
Okay.
such a way that it doesn't look like a suit to me.
Okay. But what does
So-
that have to do with what race he is?
No, because I thought he was a black man.
Oh, gotcha.
And then when there's flashbacks, he's clearly a white kid.
No, he
Yeah.
is.
So-
He's a
very white.
homeless. He's a homeless
I
white
was like,
kid.
Yeah.
wait, okay, never mind.
And it's funny is because he's played by Ray Park. If he was ever to talk, he'd be like, "Oh, crikey!" You know.
Well, if I heard that, I would assume white man.
Well, I don't even think he's Australian.
Look at here, we got-
I think he's British, but whatever.
Look at here, we got a crocodile. Watch me as I stick my finger right in its bone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's angry now.
I'm gonna jam my thumb in his bone, eh?
Off the rails.
All right, sorry.
We've
They go to this underwater. The bad guys go to this underwater city that I'm assuming took 1,000 years for them to build in secret under the polar ice caps. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where all these cartoons, they always have these bases, kind of like Dr. Evil in Austin Powers, and like the most obscure, weird
Inside
places.
of a volcano.
Yeah, that would take you for you'd like never be able to build it ever.
It's got a weird, like, sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? Destroying mechanism.
Yes. Yes. it
I
does.
mean, obviously, we could talk about it later.
Yeah,
but
we'll
I
get
just
to
find
that.
it
Oh, like
very funny.
self-destruct?
Yeah, self-destruct. Thank
there
you.
you go. There you go.
There's a doctor.
I got you.
There's a doctor here
Thanks.
that works at this underwater city, not
Yeah,
underground.
the doctor.
Looks like he's
The
got
only
like
doctor in existence.
he looks like he's got a nut
Batman.
a nut cup on his face. Yeah. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yes.
with a looking glass.
Like one you would put into your jock strap, but straight on his chin.
Yeah, with a breathing apparatus.
With a breathing apparatus, like a tube put into it.
Yeah.
We'll just get some nut cups. We'll put tubes into them.
You didn't have one of those?
He got
when
like
you were in
he got
sports?
like a scuba diving, thing, and he just like sprayed it metallic.
That's
He's
what
like,
it
this
is.
is perfect.
Perfect.
Love it.
what I had.
I'm so menacing now.
And he's like, check out these sweet snake soldiers I made. We're going to have this cobra bite them, and they'll do whatever I freaking want. These are dope. And it's like demonstration time, right? They feel no pain. They'll do whatever you say, whatever. Like, so they're called Neo Vipers, and you've got a cobra. That's not foreshadowing for everybody. We good?
What's happening?
Everybody? Decobre Industries. No, we good?
Yeah, the Cobra.
Okay.
I really like that scene though when it goes like into his arm and they're like the microbots. They first, stop the venom and then they push it out of the body and it shows him like coming out of the
actually
body.
coming back out of the.
Yeah, like I thought that was pretty cool.
No, that's cool.
I mean, it's a great. This is the thing I like about this movie. I'm just going to throw this out here right now.
No, you're not allowed to talk about anything you
I
like.
like the storyline.
Yes.
I do. I like it. It feels like a G.I. Joe
James's face.
storyline. If you were watching the cartoon, you would go, "This is ridiculous. This would never happen in real life."
I literally
What
can't.
indiscernible,
I can't handle your face right now.
what kind of indiscernible nonsense? I couldn't even figure out what the storyline was.
That's the
We're
best
literally
part.
just
Did you watch the shows when you were a kid then?
Yes.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's what I'm saying. Bad guy
That's
shows
what
up.
I was
Good
trying
guy
to
beats
say.
bad guy. End of story.
All right.
Shit was going down.
Stuff
Obviously.
blows up. Lasers get shot. We're good.
A lot of stuff blows up. That's a whole nother
I
topic
just think
of discussion.
I wish it had been that simple. Bad guys fight good guys. I think it was part of my problem with the movie. It was so much more complicated than it needed to be.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's why I feel the second one was better.
All right. I still got to see that one.
Yeah.
The plan, the big, to just sum it up here, the big plan for the bad guys is they're going to use 3 of the 4 warheads to blow up Beijing, Moscow, and Washington, and then they'll all turn to them, and they'll have absolute power because they have.
They'll get the funding.
They'll get
Yeah.
the funding and all that stuff, right? That's the big plan. Back at the pit, Duke wants to join up with the GI Joes, and it's literally this is how the conversation goes. Yo, let me join up with you. No.
You got to be asked.
I know who
You asked me 4 years ago.
I know who the Baroness is. Oh, word? Like that's
She used to be a blonde.
And knowing is half the battle.
that's right.
I
That's
can tell you everything except for the last 4 years. I don't know her that well.
Instead, I can tell you everything except all of the pertinent information.
that you need from the last 4 years.
And he's like, "Oh, I got to tell you, that sounds like a pretty good. All right, I guess you are in. I guess you are in. Let's
yeah,
go.
right. Like, come on. And I don't know what unit this is, but I want in
GI Joe. Let's go."
with the intensity of a snail.
And we get a training montage. Before that, I should say, the Baroness, we find out has a nerd husband that she sleeps with to keep him nerding on schedule. Okay, right? She's like, if I let him touch me, then he keeps being a nerd the right way, or whatever stupid thing.
Yeah, because they need him to activate the warheads.
Right. Then Duke flashes back to proposing to Anna 4 years earlier. Right? He's a soldier. They're going
She's
out
now
to West
blonde,
in the
so you know
most-
she's a good guy.
Right.
Yeah, in the most romantic way ever. He's like, I really wanted to do this before I deployed, so will you marry me? Yes. Okay, cool.
But they get interrupted by
See ya.
Rex, her brother.
Bye. Got to go now.
Yeah, see you later.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt rolls up, and that's Rex, her brother, and she's like, they're giving her the 3rd degree. I think Marlon Wayans comes over and is like, "Do you love my boy?" And she's like, "I will love him always and forever, so long as nothing bad ever happens to my brother."
Remember that.
Yeah, you need to protect
Hint, hint,
him.
wink, wink.
Yeah. I'm going to put his life entirely in your hands. And if anything happens, then basically go to hell.
Right. Now we get the training montage, and here's where they show them the acceleration suits
Yep.
Yeah.
that they ripped off straight from Mass Effect. I know probably none of you at this table ever played that game, but these are the exact damn suits from Mass Effect, especially the one that Scarlet wears later on in the movie, the green one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, I wish I had a picture here I could show you from the 2008 release of Mass Effect. and these freaking armor suits.
I would like that.
Identical.
So they basically stole it straight up from the game, and nobody
one said-
cared.
no.
Nobody batted an eye.
Nobody said nobody batted.
Can Mass Effect do something like that and like go after them?
No, I don't think at that point they were. Why would you?
Yeah.
You know,
A
but
producer of Mass Effect listens to this podcast. They're like, what?
Those sons of
Son of a
oh, none of those Canadians ever freaking watched the movie. That's why.
That's it.
BioWare's a bunch of Canucks up there. They're not paying attention to G.I. Joe. It's an American movie. All right.
Awesome.
That's
training
not
montage.
nice, eh?
Riptide was that a Canadian accent?
Ripcord.
Riptide?
Yes.
We're just, it's, you
Riptide.
can't get past that, can you?
Just call him Alpine. That's what
Ripcord
he should
is
have been.
trying to rizz up Scarlet by, doing good on the shooting tests and stuff, and she's like not into him at all. Brendan Fraser shows up for like a glorified cameo to watch him.
I love that.
Yeah, he's
I
Lieutenant
also
Stone.
love, you totally skipped over her line though.
Oh,
when
tell
she's
me.
like, if you're going to shoot at something, you better kill it. Otherwise you should just take up knitting. And then she walks away.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
That-
hot. I was turned on by
That was
that.
superb.
Yeah.
Superb line and accurate.
Yeah,
Rachel
I don't disagree
Nichols.
with that.
Rachel Nichols plays Scarlet in this movie.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Yes. And I have no idea how she was not a huge star after this movie came out.
Honestly, because she did a good job too.
Yeah.
It's not that she's just ridiculously attractive.
she's had
she
a
also
career.
does a good job.
Yes. And she's had a decent career since then. She continues to work and do stuff, but she should have been a megastar. Megastar.
She
was-
refused to do the things that
Yeah.
required casting.
Yeah,
Got it.
required you to be
At
a
the time.
megastar.
10-4.
I'm assuming.
Marlon
don't know,
Wayans
yeah.
asked her to be in a scary movie. She's like, nah.
Brendan Fraser is watching Duke fight Snake Eyes, and Duke actually hits him. I've never seen somebody land a hit.
Yeah, but he basically sucker punched him.
He did.
He was like, again, rah! And he like jumped on him. He didn't even give him a second. He's like, oh, wow,
Right.
someone got snake eyes. Well, he basically jumped like when he wasn't looking.
He scored really good on the boat shooting exercise. They've got him on every floor doing some exercise. And then at the end, they're like, you scored in the 99th percentile for everything that we test. And you, Ripcord, if we average your scores with Dukes, then you both pass.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're like, there's a moment where
It shows the 99th percentile for
Yeah.
Ripcord.
where Stone walks by and he goes, yeah, they're Joe's.
Yeah.
Because Heavy Duty doesn't want them on the team.
That's right.
Yeah. And Stone, he's from Extreme Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters. Here we go. I'm totally all over the place.
No, Riptide, go ahead.
No, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe Extreme was like, because you remember the 90s, everything was extreme.
Yes.
So instead of General Hawk, it was Lieutenant Stone. Ah. And that's where Stone comes from.
That's Brendan Fraser's character.
Yeah. And in the cartoon, there is an episode where Duke and Snake Eyes have to battle each other in front of Destro because he forces them to fight.
Brendan, I like Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
I wish it was Brendan Fraser leading
Same.
the shows. Like, why is he just in here for a cameo? Like, you've already worked
You
with
know,
him.
I
Yeah.
like Dennis Quaid too, but not for this role.
Yeah.
I think his voice, I don't know why, but his voice is very
Yeah.
kind of whiny to me.
Well, General Hawk was an older guy. He was supposed to be older, whereas Stone was like a younger, like,
Right.
let's get crap done.
So then just roll with
Yeah.
Stone. Don't even have Hawk in the movie.
Yeah, you could.
Just could do that. But people would probably been upset.
But
about
Stone was like, in the original series, he was like one of the trainers. So he worked a lot with Sergeant Slaughter.
that. Gotcha.
But that was the original series.
All right. They got to do some weightlifting, which obviously you can't do with a shirt on.
Yes, it impedes you. You have to be shirtless to weightlift.
I was like, okay, Magic Mike.
With his
Yeah.
50 pounds on the bar.
Okay.
And he can't get it up. He's like, he walks
He's like,
away.
oh no!
Like, bro, you
I'm
got
like, I can lift that. Like, come on, man. Like, guaranteed I can lift what's on that bar.
I would have at least enjoyed where they showed more weight on the bar and made him more.
Right.
And
like-
killed him. I mean, what?
Right.
Sorry, just kidding.
Oh, there goes Duke.
The end.
Thin. All artistic like.
Ripcord walks over, leaves him there to go rizz up Scarlet on the
He does
treadmill.
not listen
Yeah.
to the bros before hose rule at all. He lets his bro die.
He's being choked to death by a 50-pound bar. behind him, and he goes over there, hops on the treadmill, and tries to shoot a shot, but she basically shoots him down because of science.
I just thought it was super odd. She grabs a book and then just like throws it on there. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you trying to impress him? Like, you've already impressed him.
I read books
while I'm jogging.
See, I'm not just super sexy. I'm like really smart too. So, like, if you look at this book, you'll know that.
Obviously.
And he looked at the book. There was not one moment that he looked at that book.
Not even one.
He didn't even care.
She must be smart.
Yeah.
Dang, it's a huge brain, girl.
It's a huge brain. Bleeding into your red hair.
How you run so steady with that huge brain, girl?
You should be toppling over.
The next thing we know, either mole, what do they call them? Mole, frickin' I have it right here.
Mole people.
No.
Mole pods?
Mole pods, thank you. Either mole pods
Well, they could still be considered mole people.
That's true. As I'm watching it, though, you don't know what it is yet. So I'm like, either it's mole pods or Bugs Bunny is about to attack frickin' Pit.
Goes underneath the camel.
I honestly thought it was like the nanobots for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, I know there's only 4 of them, or 4.
Yeah, I don't even know. Not that many.
But that's what I thought. It was like...
Yeah, they go in and drill under. It turns out the pit's actually super easy to break into.
Yeah.
And they just like, they go in at the exact right angle.
Yep.
And she's just like, okay, I'm going to get out here, and this is perfect. And I'm still in my dominatrix suit. This is getting really hot and very sweaty underneath.
In this mole pod.
Nobody
getting kind of hot in this mole pod.
Yeah, it's hot in these mole pods.
I love that they all kind of come in like, right next to each other, maybe like a couple like upper or lower.
But the wall doesn't collapse on them.
Not so much that as much as when you get out, you have to watch to your right because otherwise you're going to get jacked with another mole pod.
Or like, what if you're like above them and you get out and you're just like,
oh, my leg.
My leg.
All right, that Neo Viper's done.
You get out of your mole pod, you start to walk along the walkway, and another one just comes through the wall and just
jabs you. You're like, nails you. And you're just like corkscrewed on there. It's
that's
spinning
the third
around.
one this month.
Those blind entrances, man. Sometimes I got to walk into my garage and the laundry room's right there. I was worried I'm going to nail somebody with the door. Someone's doing laundry and I was coming.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry. Yeah, they break in. Zartan kills the blonde trash can that is.
Well, yeah, he grabs the whole thing with Zartan in the original series was he was the master of disguise.
Right.
So he could transform into anybody and act like them and look like them.
Right.
So this is where you first get to see he steals a disguise.
Right.
And then murders CoverGirl.
CoverGirl.
Yeah.
Right. Which is amazing for a G.I. Joe thing and someone got killed. I was like, oh my God. Did not expect that at all.
And doesn't touch General Hawk's hand at all when he's going to sign the computer.
Right.
And the knife comes through the computer and you don't see him react at all. He's like, oh, I'm still signing this. Hang on a second. Oh, I almost got a splinter.
It's hard to sign this CoverGirl when there's a blade in the way.
Excuse me. Why would you do that? Who puts that there?
Can you please step aside? Thank you.
Oh, you're dead. Oh, crap. And then he gets sliced up by
that makes it easier to get you out of the way.
And then Stormcloud is pissed that he killed this girl.
I'm getting so
because Zoltan.
It's
Zoltan.
Kurt's about to lose his mind.
This is like Tremors all over when you kept saying Paradise Island or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's perception.
It's perfection.
I'm sorry. I won't mess up their names.
Stormcloud.
Storm Shadow is pissed at Zoltan because he keeps.
It's Zoltan. Zoltan.
Let's just end it here.
What is this, big?
Sorry. The names are freaking confusing.
No, they're not.
Okay.
If you love the characters, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, is that He-Man or is that Skeletor? I don't know. I don't know the names. Oh,
I think we know how James feels about
Is that Dorko? I don't know.
All right. Let me try this again. Storm Shadow is mad at Zartan.
Yes.
Because he doesn't kill women. And that's why Zartan is like,
it's part of
oh, I get it. You
his
don't
honor.
You don't kill women, right? Oh, tough crap. They grab the case because Hawk gets sliced up.
Yeah.
And immediately Baroness is on her freaking earpiece going, all right, prep the mole pods. We're coming back. And I'm like, mole pods are broken right now.
you imagine just somebody interfered with him, sir or ma'am? I don't know what's going on. You
Heavy
got
duty, like rocketed him,
Yeah.
right? Like just blew him up.
and that's what.
Like, how are we going to get out now?
That was one of his weapons. He
Yes.
was a rocket launcher guy.
I liked heavy duty.
In the
He was
toy,
cool.
yeah.
He was cool.
He used to have in the toy. He had a green hat that was on backwards and
Yeah.
a sleeveless button down. That was his
Ooh.
that was his attire.
Nice.
Yeah, showing off the guns.
Sleeveless button down.
Yeah.
How classy.
Oh yeah.
As she's running out, and finally the alarm gets hit. Okay.
You would like to imagine that Kurt sat there studying these toys to figure out all of this information, but no, he knows it.
He just knows
He knows it.
better than all of us because I
Oh yeah,
don't know anything.
he didn't study this.
As they finally hit the alarm, and the rest of the Joes are now on the way.
Yeah. General Hawk ends up
Hawk finally.
Yeah, he finally hits the little
'Cause he's not
silent
dead.
doorbell.
Yeah, like
right.
why didn't they kill him just for plot purposes so he
Yes.
can press the little alarm?
just slice his chest open?
I think he was supposed to die there. From what I read, the filmmakers, Stephen Sommers, enjoyed working with him so much they added like 10 more scenes for him. So I think he was supposed to leave the movie earlier than he did. I don't know if that's because he died or he just wasn't supposed to be around.
and then
or
Stone was supposed to take over.
Right.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, but whatever. The Joes are coming. And this is when Duke and Anna, the Baroness, have their face off, where they've now come face to face.
And now they know each other.
And now they're
Girl
like,
fight.
what's up? And Duke's like, I don't know what's up with you. What you been up to, girl? And
been a while.
she's just like, well, I just want to know if you still like me, you know.
Yeah, like how are you feeling about the hair?
Right.
You know, it's pretty different.
It's weird. You darkened it up.
I did it because
Are you evil?
Are you evil now?
I did it because I knew it would bother you. Oh, well, I
did.
actually like it. So this was their conversation
Bummer.
that I wish they'd had.
This makes me think of that dancing movie that Chatham. What's his name? Cheating.
Oh, why can't you say his
yeah,
name?
yeah,
right?
yeah. Remember the name.
Because I know him as Duke.
This drives me crazy.
Well, his name's Duke.
His name's
In the
Channing
movie.
Tatum.
All right, so Duke was in
Whose
that
names are
dancing movie. What was that dancing
Yeah.
movie Duke was in?
Step up to the streets.
Yeah, Step
no,
Up.
it's just step up.
Yeah.
just step up.
Stepping up to the streets.
All right.
He shows about as much intensity in that movie as he does in this one.
Yes. She said, you already killed me once. That's the one thing she actually legitimately says to him. And we don't really know what their story is yet.
You didn't gloss over the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow fight
No,
yet,
that's
did
literally
you?
next.
Yeah, okay.
The next
I'm
thing.
excited.
I got,
All right.
one more thing. Because as they're having their little face off and there's some Neo Viper soldiers with her,
Yeah.
Ripcord rolls in driving a forklift like Bob at Menards. and just impales.
Yeah, through a steel beam.
He's going fast. How fast do forklifts go? 12 miles an hour, maybe?
That'd be ripping, dude.
I feel like that would be really fast. I feel like they go
that's a
like
lot.
6 miles an hour.
Really?
I feel like 12's a lot, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Full out walking speed, they're faster than that. They're not running speed.
So-
I bet you could outrun a
Probably not fast enough to put a fork of the fork part of the forklift through a steel beam.
He's just like,
No, but at least through a human.
Meh.
Sure.
Yes, you can
through
impale
a human.
A doughy
Or
one.
Neo Viper.
It needs to
A
be
doughy one.
It needs to be like a dough. Yeah, and it needs to be a sharp piece of object
Well, they're half hollowed out by nanomites, right? These
That's
guys,
true.
right? So,
Yeah.
right
You know.
through the center like a donut.
yes. But then we get
Yes.
Snake Eyes
Yep. Storm
and
Shadow.
Storm Shadow
Yeah.
fighting it
Battling out and then
Says,
like
hello, brother.
doing flashbacks into their fight.
And that's when I'm like, oh,
back and forth.
It's
Okay.
really hard to concentrate on fighting and flashing back at the same time. I
Yeah.
don't
And
understand how they
flashback
do
fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
You're remembering a fight while you're fighting. Why don't you just concentrate on the fight, flashback afterwards?
Sure.
I don't know that they were actually flashing back. They were just showing us.
Is that what it was? Is that what it was? I'm assuming usually when people have a flashback, there's
like,
a couple
hey,
times
man.
where Duke has one and he just leans back in his chair and then it flashes.
There's like seagulls flying over and just go. And then all of a sudden he goes into the flashback.
It's just like as they're fighting in real time, they're like, man, they're probably all flashing back right now. Let's just take a break.
I will say though, those
exhausting.
kids are bringing it.
Yes.
They are.
I love that kid ninja fight.
Oh, yeah, dude. Snake Eyes is like,
Over nothing.
I'm like, hey, that's the
Stolen bread.
He's like, that's the Flaming Dragon kid from Tropic Thunder. Right?
Flaming dragon.
This is Flaming Dragon.
Is this where we get to see
Akamura?
Akamura? Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry's here.
Yeah.
Jerry from
He's the
Samurai
dad.
Cop.
Yeah.
I love it.
Looking old, still wearing his black underwear.
He's able to stay in the same location every time now.
Yep.
right?
I just love like as soon as this kid comes in,
Yeah.
he's basically like, screw you, son. This kid is cool.
Well, you know
and he's
why?
like, I hope he beats you one day.
You know why? Because this kid, we'll just say Snake Eyes, the young white kid, comes in and he eats like one apple, and then Storm Shadow destroys all the food in the entire kitchen.
He was stealing.
The whole table gets swept
Yeah.
off, and boom, and food's flying on the ground and everywhere, and he's chopping onions with his hand and stuff. And then I'm like,
Is he?
And he's crying.
I'm like, dude, if you just
I should have worn a mask.
let him have his one dumpling or whatever it is that he stole out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
You wrecked all the food. That's why his dad was like, screw this kid.
You've been an asshole since the day you were born,
This kid appreciates food.
All right. Scarlet then shows up and takes on the Baroness as they're all trying to escape. And she throws on there's like these stealth pajamas,
Yeah.
okay, that they have
Yeah,
there.
it's a camouflage suit.
Stealth pajamas?
Yeah.
Pajamas.
Yeah, kind of.
Pajamas.
Although it's interesting, she didn't have gloves on, but she put it on and her hands disappeared.
Maybe she just kept them in her sleeves.
She had
She
the,
was in her sleeves. like a kid, like, I lost my hands. You ever as a kid do that? And she's punching them through.
she had the invisibility spray from SpongeBob.
She lost a fight. She's like, I'm invisible, bitch. And she still lost a fight.
And she only gets like a couple of hits in, and then
Yeah.
Baroness is like, I got this.
Yeah, I can still see you.
Like, I've never lost a fight before in my whole life. I'm like, not only did you lose, you lost while you're invisible.
Yeah.
That's a special kind of crappy.
Oh, give her a break.
Could you imagine? if you
Oh,
were-
I'm sorry. She has a scab on her neck or whatever. She's like, don't look at my neck.
I know. She's like, oh,
I'm so ugly.
oh my
Oh,
God.
I'm so ugly now. I'm so like, yeah, you're such a troll.
Why don't you go move under a bridge?
You look disgusting now.
God, put it away.
Every time I look at, I always throw up.
You just had a baby.
Ripcord. First of all, why are they in the? Did he go in the woman's bathroom to talk to her? Like,
I think it's unisex bathroom. I think they're just anyone's allowed.
They're
in
just
there.
way ahead.
they're way ahead.
Yeah.
Got it. Anyway, Baroness hits Duke in the face with the case and's like, bye. And Storm Shadow
Bye.
jetpacks the two of them out of there, so they have the warhead.
And like,
Which, how
she
do you
literally
fly
like,
that?
right. Well, and also she's just hanging on.
She's so strong.
She's so strong. I don't know how. I don't know how.
Storm.
Like, you don't realize how hard it is to hang from one
Arm,
Yeah.
let
Like,
alone holding four
letting alone-
warheads.
with the air drag of blasting
yes,
off.
while being blasted off through the ceiling, like she would fall for sure.
When she gotten roasted, I would have think the flames from the jetpack at
Yeah,
some point.
That's why
would've-
she wears leather.
Burn all that evil hair off.
just melts back to her body. Got it.
I never have to change again. This is permanent now.
It's
I'm
not really a
permanent
leather
leather.
suit. It's just a big welding glove. I'll be fine.
She's like, take off.
I
Puts
came
the mask
prepared.
down. Be awesome. Anyway, they've got the warheads now.
And what a great and go back to that.
Yeah.
Storm Shadow doing some great flying.
Oh,
I mean, how
operating
doesn't
machinery,
that
he's-
offset the weight? Like, but whatever, didn't seem to phase
I
him.
don't know.
He's like, I'm out. Goes up through the hole that the base just opens up.
I feel like the pit should be harder to steal things from. That's just me.
Yeah, they got in and out very easily.
Literally, it's where the G.I. Joes live.
They didn't have seismic sensors or anything. I mean, the
Nothing.
bank's got seismic sensors.
Yeah.
They store money.
Yeah. Well, they had at one point the guy at the computer's like, "There's tremors, sir, but it's probably just a donkey or whatever the heck's out there." And like,
No, it's literally what they said. They were like, oh, it's probably just like random tremor.
yeah, whatever.
One, I love
When
the
does that
fact.
happen?
Tremors.
Does that
Tremors.
happen often?
Also, great trope here.
Yeah.
The Neo Vipers know how to operate all the Joe's machinery and
Yes.
operating systems.
Yes.
Well,
Opening doors, shutting doors.
I assume that it's all in the programming. It's like the Matrix. They just like, I need to learn Kung Fu. And
oh,
they know how
that'd
to
be
do it.
awesome.
They're just flipping through.
That'd be awesome.
It says here. Oh no, you got to go back. Go back.
Doors is 4A. Go to that page.
Yeah, they know exactly where everything is. No one's ever, the pit's only been whispered about. Here it is. I'm like,
They
damn, you
have
freaking
all-
know where the bathrooms are.
They have all the instructions for every asset tag. It's
Yeah.
like A72159.
Yeah, right. All right, the bad guys are going to test the warhead in France, and just to get a couple little things out of it, they also do an experiment on Zartan that we don't know who he's changing into yet, but it looks really painful. Like his face muscles are like contorting and his skull is breaking and reforming itself.
Yeah, they didn't do that right.
Vosloo does his best face acting he could possibly do, right? But it's not his fault.
Right.
It's not his fault.
No. The Joes are just, this is one of the things that I literally just wanted to like just beat my head against the wall. They're just walking down the hallway and for no reason, there's no piece of information that triggers this. There's nothing. Out of nowhere, they're just like, doo-doo-doo, going down the hallway. And all of a sudden Ripcord's like, I figured it out. McCullen's the bad guy.
Let's go.
And then Scarlett's
no
like,
lead up.
And Scarlett's like, he builds them and then he steals them back. You're a genius, Ripcord. Like,
He's like, I didn't say that.
You
I
just
just
figured
said
it
he
out.
was the bad guy.
You literally just figured it out because the plot needed you to so you could go do the next thing.
Yeah, that's
Like,
how
this is
movies
taking
usually
too
work.
long.
Sure.
I've got it.
I've got it.
It's
I'm
McCullen.
I'm the smartest one of the group.
Great work.
Indeed.
Me, pick me.
me.
Duke's like, oh, I was
And
so
I just
close.
love that, like, so they're planning to launch these warheads on the Eiffel Tower, right?
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well, I'm just going to
Because
assume they're in Paris.
there's a big dramatic moment where as they're in Paris and they're like, there's so much metal in Paris. What are they going to...
Right?
And I'm like, oh, you think you're going to do the Eiffel Tower? Who would have thought?
But
Which they got the GPS coordinates wrong. They got the little one in Vegas.
like,
There's still a moat
Yes.
around this one.
Yes, they're going to shoot the Eiffel Tower.
so it's like, okay, obviously nobody wants the Eiffel Tower to be eaten.
No, you just end the sentence right there. Nobody wants the Eiffel Tower.
Right. They tried to scrap
Nobody
it a few times.
Have you seen the thing? It's all rusted to crap. I don't even think the French want it. No,
Okay,
they're all
so-
going to be mad at me. I shouldn't say that.
You said it.
We
Charlie,
just lost all 15 viewers.
I'm sorry, Charlie.
God.
I'm sorry, Charlie. Go
But
ahead.
it's just like the amount of damage that they cause as they're chasing them through the
Oh, yeah.
streets to stop
Oh, yeah.
it. I'm like, just let it eat the Eiffel Tower. It's
it's
one
not-
thing.
But that's the thing. It's not going to eat the Eiffel Tower. It would have eaten the entirety of it because they had said at the beginning that it eats whatever metal it's on and then it just switches to the next material. It will keep
Right.
going and eat through everything.
Yeah, but
Buildings, the
weren't they
whole
just
nine.
going to test it on the Eiffel Tower?
they were
It's
just
like,
testing
You know what?
it.
Just
You
let
guys are
it
all
eat
jumping way ahead. We're not there yet. Duke has to have another flashback first.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He's got a flashback to East Africa where Rex is there and they've got an airstrike 5 minutes out, but they got to send Science Boy into this lab.
He's like, just go ahead. It's fine. It'll be fine.
You got 5 minutes and then you're going to get out of there. And they
Just
send
kidding.
him
You
and
have
then
1 minute.
He looks terrified, like to even be on this battlefield, right?
Yeah.
Rex runs in there. Yeah, you're right. Oh, just kidding. Oh, crap. That's them.
That's
Too late.
early.
It's early. It's
Rex,
early.
get out, get out, get out.
Duke runs up to this building and eats an airstrike while he's in the doorway.
Right. So like the
And
everything
ends
in the
up with a
building
line
dies.
on his cheek.
Everything that's in the building, we're led to assume everything in the building dies.
Yeah.
But like you're standing right next to the building, you're good. You weren't protected by the
He-
building
you're
at
fine.
all.
No.
Fine.
Fine.
He gets a scratch on his cheek.
He did.
Oh, he does. That's
Well,
right.
and it was a weird morphing scratch.
Yeah. It changes. It's just never healing. Maybe he picks at it.
I was like, damn, dude.
It's his it's his anxiety.
Duke can
thing.
just get an airstrike straight to his chops and he just
Takes it.
just takes it. It's fine.
Duke's the man.
So then they have to have a funeral back in the States for
Oh,
Rex, where the soldiers that fire the guns appear to be firing straight into the crowd of people.
Oh, my eye.
That's not right.
I was like,
And I
what?
love that.
No, don't.
Channing Tatum pulls up and he's like, I couldn't find anything other than this motorcycle
With these sunglasses in the
with
rain.
these sunglasses
Dude,
in the rain.
nothing
So,
shows sadness better than funerals in the rain
on a motorcycle.
and motorcycles.
He pulls up. He pulls up to this. His girlfriend standing there by herself, and he's just like, the sunglasses on, looking just beautiful. Right?
And I love that no one notices him on this
No.
motorcycle.
No one hears it come up.
Oh,
We were gathered here today for the man who lost his life. And I. Jeez, would
And
you?
it runs like crap. He's got to rev it 4 times while he's stopped. You know, as they do.
So it doesn't
Sorry.
stall out.
I'm late.
I don't know why you never
Is that
came
guy?
back.
Is he going to be over here? Did he? Does anyone know?
Hey,
Hey,
are you part of this? Shut
up.
your bike off.
I'm trying to brood over here in the rain. Leave me alone.
Do you see my muscles?
My sunglasses and my toy
They're
T-shirt.
so wet.
my joint. These. Toy like a toiga.
Tight. That's so tight. Okay, bye.
Peace out. I was like, oh, he dipped on her.
Yeah.
Oh, this changes everything.
Is that Duke?
Baroness then walks into her husband's lab. And
Which is just a floating pod somewhere
Yes,
in the
somewhere.
middle of some cool CGI.
freaking sewer, for all I know.
The sewers of France.
She walks down a manhole to get to it.
Yeah.
Briefcase won't fit down there. Ah, crap.
Hi, honey. It smells so good in here. Can you
Storm
activate
Shadow's
these,
like,
please?
oh, I got my sword stuck.
Yes.
Can you, hey, Frag Viper, can you help me? What's going on back there?
This is why I just carry fidget spinners. Every chance he gets. I know while you practice that, you cut yourself a few times, Storm Shadow. I
Oh,
know
sure.
you did. Don't
You
act
know,
all
he's
cool.
got a
See,
lot
he
of
was-
calluses
yeah,
on
it's
his
like-
fingers.
He was missing like 4 fingers.
Just the tips.
They go into this lab where her husband works, and she's like, hi, dear. Smacks him around a little bit. I need you to weaponize these.
And he's like, oh, why? Like, he acts so cool about it. Like, okay.
What do you want to buy?
Hi, honey. What do you need?
So he just shoots it with a weaponizing ray
Yep.
or something.
That's what
Just
they
got
have.
A big button that says weaponize.
And then doesn't she kiss him or something?
Yes.
And then he gets
And
killed.
then he just gets. I told you if he ever touched you again, I'd kill him.
And she said, I heard you the first time, which means she did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Yep.
kill the
She want him dead.
right.
Those
Bad. But it's
damn
just a bummer.
brunettes.
Bummer.
Evil.
Evil.
As they're leaving,
Evil.
as they leave the lab, the GI Joes pick up their trail and they're following them, and they've got like all this
Their
like
Mercedes.
extreme technology, and then they're just in a van, following them.
And
These guys have-
unmarked. Yeah.
Incognito.
these guys have like this SUV that fires missiles out of it, right?
Oh, man, yeah.
But Duke and Riptide put on their acceleration suits
And
Right.
just lay waste to everything.
and
what
just
I'm
run
saying,
like Juggernaut through the
Yes.
entire city
Yes.
of Paris.
and they just crash into like everything that they
Yes.
pass.
Yeah, because they don't know how
And
to
they're-
use
do
them.
you know how many people just died?
Oh, so many.
So many people just
They
died.
didn't hit anybody in that bus.
No.
Nobody
No.
got
Everyone
killed
in the
in that
car
bus.
was fine, Stanley.
Snake Eyes gets out of the van. Snake Eyes gets out of the van and like
No
T1
acceleration
and, like,
suit.
T1000s it after this SUV.
Does
he just
backflips, leaps.
jumps on top of the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't even with their cow catcher trying to flip freaking cars back onto him. He just dances around them all.
Which is some really awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was all for it.
Can't get him off.
When the one barrel rolls and then he jumps and like runs on top of it.
Yeah.
And then the other one he like side swipes and swings around right back on. You're
Yeah.
like, yes.
No, it was cool.
This is Snake Eyes. This is
awesome.
great. Yeah.
They start karate fighting through the window of the car.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whenever one guy's hand's not in the way, they just smack themselves real quick, like, just to make it still look good.
Yeah, right, exactly. They're karate fighting. He ends up underneath the carriage of the vehicle.
Which there were a couple of times where they missed like having him CGI'd under there.
Yes, where he's just not there.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a second, where'd he go? Because you're almost like, did he leave? Did he jump off?
He's got the stealth fit suit.
I shouldn't say I rewound it, but I went.
did.
I did.
VHS.
When were you
Yeah.
born?
He's got a VHS copy of it.
And I was like, oh, he doesn't. Where'd he
not
go?
there.
Yeah. Anyway.
Scarlett jumps on a motorcycle.
Which she just commandeers.
Un-
She just
unarmored.
stole somebody's.
She just walks up to the person, smacks him in the face.
And she drives it like she's CGI.
Because she is.
Because she is.
Because she's not really there.
That wheelie landed really hard.
Like
Okay.
that, the gravity just doesn't like make sense.
That was 2009, though.
No.
And as one of the Neo Vipers is leaning out the door to get Snake Eyes underneath, she smokes this dude right between the eyes with her laser crossbow.
Yep.
I want a laser
And doesn't his
crossbow.
head just
Yes.
like kind of poof?
Yeah.
Right. Just
And he falls out.
done, falls out. And this is when Baroness just her gun is so ridiculous. It looks like a sonic gun that she uses throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
She just turns and shoots this gun, and it always does an insane amount of damage.
Right.
Boom! Motorcycle into the earth. She goes flying a mile away, and Riptide catches her. Right?
Yes.
Or Ripcord catches her.
Ripcord.
But
In the acceleration suit.
in the acceleration suit. But like that gun
Doesn't bruise her at all.
Right.
No,
like, okay,
I
gotta
mean, he's
go.
wearing a metal iron suit
Right.
And
That he doesn't know how to use.
and catches her ever so slightly.
At least when Iron Man was caught by Hulk, Hulk was catching him and he's made of flesh.
Correct.
Right? It's the other way around.
Right.
When Superman catches Lois Lane
Right.
and then just like scythes her into 3 equal pieces. His arms of steel.
His arms just cut through her.
Yes.
I didn't see that happening.
Oh, sorry.
My bad.
That would be an awesome.
The SUV starts firing missiles back at them, and they're just like you said, Steph, blowing the shit
Yes.
out of Paris. Just,
Which I love. Okay, here's the
why would you love that?
Well, hang on. This
Die, French people!
here's
You're all so rude.
This is the only time this has ever been pseudo appropriate. Right here, this is happening.
this is where I love this scene because Snake Eyes is on top of the vehicle. There obviously is a sunroof.
Yes.
And he's, there's the whole like they're fighting, and then all of a sudden, where is this gun coming up from? They're in the back seat.
Oh,
so
yeah.
is it the back side of the Hummer? Because
Yeah.
that gun looks like it takes up the whole top of the roof.
Where were they storing it?
Yeah, like were they pushed all the way up to the front seat?
Where are they storing it?
It deploys from a cup holder in the back.
This is the super mega Hummer package.
know.
It comes with an
But
assault
that's
rifle.
where I was laughing, and I
Yes.
love that part because I just laughed. I go, all right, this is where it gets me a little bit. Like, this is, you guys didn't think about this at all?
Well, if he's-
Where's this giant gun coming from?
And why doesn't Snake Eyes just go through the sunroof?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And
see
so
it.
There was a gun in there. He saw his like sunroof gun. Damn it, I can't
Oh,
get
there's
in
a
that way.
sunroof gun.
That's
Right.
going to impale me if I
could-
go in there.
If he could move his rubber lips, he would have gone, oh.
Oh.
But he can't. It just looks like.
There were a couple of times where the lips change shape.
Yes.
It's like they're closed, and there's one where he's just like,
Right.
and you're like, why is his mouth open? Did he get surprised?
he needed to breathe.
If he's stupid, the bad guys are even worse because at this point he drops off of the car and Baroness like he gave up, and Storm Shadow says he never gives up.
No.
Like he knows something. And they're driving straight forward and don't see the lights flashing for this train that's coming.
Nope, apparently not. They're
They
too
just
busy.
Get the back end of their car clipped by this bullet train, and they crash for 30 seconds straight. I
The
mean,
Neo Viper dropped out. He stopped driving, so it just ghost riding. And they're in the back seat, like, oops.
so many other cars explode.
Yes.
So many other people die. This explosion just keeps going and going. The freaking guys in the acceleration suits, Duke and Ripcord. Ripcord jumps through the train, but goes through it like it's stationary, right? From window to window, as opposed to what would actually
Right.
happen if you're going through a train that was going 200 miles an hour.
Was it the train or the bus? I thought
It was
he
a
went
train.
through a bus.
He went through the train that was going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, well, and he didn't hit anybody.
No.
Yeah, he just jumped through the unseated section.
We're incredible. Incredible. All right. Storm Shadow grabs the warhead like it's a football.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I know he ends up putting it on a rocket launcher, but I just wanted him to
spiked
chuck it. I just want him to chuck this thing, just get up there to the Eiffel Tower and just be like, fire that fucking pig skin. You know what I'm saying? Just let that thing rip. That was what I was hoping
And then
when he
him
grabbed
miss.
the thing. It's football shaped. Why
It just goes bloop, and falls onto the grass, and he's like, "Oh."
why make it football shaped if not for throwing like a football?
It needs to have like the Nerf gun, like Sally's like, "Woo!"
Be awesome. But no, they didn't do that.
Ba-kink.
They're jumping around inside this building like monkeys in these acceleration suits trying to get Baroness is
Which,
trying to get to
yeah.
the roof.
sorry.
She's trying to get to the roof.
Yeah.
But if you got comments,
I was just upset because, again, this was like where, I guess in this scene, like, obviously it's a cartoon movie, right? It's based on a cartoon. So there's a certain amount of realism that you have to
You have to.
expect isn't there.
you have to be okay with
But
it.
if you're in an acceleration suit and it's supposed to multiply everything you can do,
Yeah.
why could, like, Storm Shadow was outrunning him
Yep.
as a ninja faster than him in a suit?
Yeah,
like,
and
he
he's in
should
the
have
suit,
been
he's
able
like,
to just.
Oh,
And he
he's
was-
fast.
And
Yeah.
Ripcord was outrunning cars.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I don't know if they're trying to show like Storm Shadow has these like great abilities, so that's why he's outrunning them.
He's a
you
fidget
would,
spinner, unironically.
and that's what I'm saying. So there was a little bit of like, oh, come
To kill
on,
people.
Like you could have. I would have liked to have seen somehow him out of the suit
Yeah.
and then chasing him up the stairs and being like, "Oh, this guy's fast."
What if the
suit
suit just
malfunctions
stops?
or
Yeah, the suit malfunctioned, and he's like, "Oh, now it's really heavy."
Yes.
And then
No,
he's
I
like,
can't
"I
move
gotta
it at
get this
all.
thing off." Yeah, like that would have been great, but instead it turns into this. I don't know. I just didn't. That's where I kind of like fell. Oh, what are you doing?
Ripcord can't get to Storm before he's able to fire his rocket out a window
I do like that he kind of went to multiple rooms
to get a clear vision of the Eiffel Tower.
He like just kicks the door and he's like, no, not this one, the next one.
What if the rocket just exploded when it hit the glass? He's like, oh shit! And they just start eating the building. They just have to book it out of there. Oh, come on, man.
I didn't think of that. I should have kicked a chair first. Damn it.
No, but
After all that,
he's not able to get there in time. He fires rocket. So now the only hope is Duke can get the kill switch, which the Baroness has on the roof of this glass building.
Correct.
And he gets up there, and again, she got her freaking OP stupid gun that she fires into the glass ceiling.
And it just breaks
It
away.
just breaks away underneath.
And he kind of starts
It's a
hanging there.
stupid gun. Every scene.
Yeah.
They're about to do something good. You just shoot. I would only ever shoot that gun. I would never do anything else. Why are you even running away?
Yeah.
You don't even need nanobots.
No, just use that gun.
Yeah.
You shoot that gun at Beijing and
just
Moscow.
blow it away.
Right?
Yeah.
Take this into Washington. We don't even need all this bull crap with these warheads.
Yeah.
I've got this gun that does everything you want it to every time.
It's brilliant.
I wonder if Destro knows about this gun.
I should call him.
Duke, she gets on her spaceship after this, and Duke just leaps into the spaceship. It's like, boop.
Yeah. With extreme accuracy. And I like that he kind of does like yep, I just did that. Boop. He looks at her like, yeah, what are you going to do about
Like,
it?
congratulations, you saved Paris.
And then bam, knocks him
Most
out.
of it, and then Eiffel Tower just comes down and
The rest of it's just smoldering.
You watch all the nanobots.
it was so
just
anticlimactic
destroy.
after a whole chase scene, and he just jumps into the spaceship. Boop.
Yeah, they should have put an access code on that thing.
Something, right? A password.
Yeah.
Thumbprint.
Confirm.
Confirm.
I was like, yes or
Right.
no.
I have to confirm when I'm doing anything.
Right.
Is that your final answer?
Anyway, they got Duke, and all the rest of the Joes are down on the ground where there's this Neo Viper on the ground, and they're like, "Oh, they got Duke." He's like, "That's okay. I'm gonna suck this guy's memories out with my memory needles, and they'll turn them into images and put them on my iPod Shuffle." What?
Yeah.
What?
Where was that earlier? You know how many Neo Vipers were left in Joe Base?
We just suck all their
Why
memories
did you
out.
do that
If
earlier?
you have these memory needles, Breaker.
We would have been able to save Eiffel Tower sooner.
That old rusted piece of crap.
3-foot needles just into this guy's brain.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming out his
like
nostrils.
I was about to say, I'm like, it's just like.
Meanwhile, Destro's got this giant button of a camera
Yes.
on the bad guy.
And so
on his lapel.
Deathstroke is like killing the system as they're
Deathstroke.
downloading. Deathstroke, is that what I said? Mm-hmm. No, it's McCullen.
Yeah,
Yes.
Destro.
McCullen is erasing the stuff as they're doing it. He's keeping them from doing whatever the hell they're doing, but he's stopping. And Breaker makes a point of going, no, I'm losing it. Oh, that was just for the camera because he's watching us.
Yeah, like he was smart enough to know there was a camera, so he was acting like he wasn't getting the stuff.
Well, the camera still works. Why isn't he still watching you while you're explaining that you're just doing it for the camera?
Well, and I
while he's
love that
watching
they
you?
go and show the camera go bzz, 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 and it like smokes a little bit. Like, oh,
Because otherwise you get
Let's
McCullen
just
going,
answer that question.
I'm
Yeah.
still
If
watching.
you were
I'm still
wondering.
watching you guys.
just so you know, I'm still here.
I can see you.
Ridiculous.
I can see your foot.
The French police show
pretty
up
good
and arrest them.
Yeah.
They're French prisoners for about 4 seconds, and Hawk.
They keep getting
Shows
arrested.
up. Oh, Hawk's still alive.
Yeah, they do get arrested a lot. He does say you guys are all reported to go back to the pit, but you can go the other way around the world to get there. Like,
Right.
you don't have to go straight.
Wink, wink, nudge,
Wink,
nudge.
wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, sorry I couldn't. Sorry I wasn't here earlier. Then we get Duke talking to Anna in the spaceship as he's a prisoner and flying away.
Yeah, like, and they don't even really like tie him up or anything.
No.
He's just sitting there,
just chilling.
with his elbows on his knees, like, "Hey,
He's like, "Hey, girl,
how's it going?"
I'm sorry, but I know I left you at that funeral that you didn't know I pulled up in a motorcycle."
That was you. We were so mad about that guy.
But what did he say? I just couldn't face you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
A word?
Snake Eyes has another flashback to ninja training, and they're like, they have the color-coded ninjas.
Yes.
And I was like,
Are they finally going to show us the color key?
hold on a second. Snake Eyes is a white boy. Is Snake Eyes an American ninja? Because you've got the freaking colored,
Dun dun dun.
color-coded ninjas at the training ground, and he's an American. I think Snake Eyes is
the
part
first
of American
Ninja.
Yeah. Or
So this is American Ninja meets Megaforce. This is our origin story.
Yes, Clint. Very well played.
all of these terrible movies are coming together to form like the
G.I. Joe.
the Infinity Gauntlet of bad movies.
G.I. Joe.
I love it.
I have the power.
But can I just say this? The bad guys show up at the ice palace or whatever because they're like the elevator they take down to their underwater thing.
Yes.
The freaking in a movie full of crappy CGI sets, this set was the worst, and it wasn't close. It was so obviously not snowing, not cold. They're on a sound stage somewhere in California, and there's like some fake ice, and everything else is just a window for blue screens.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm sitting here going, well, we almost had a live action G.I. Joe movie. We were close, but apparently they're still animated because this scene specifically is terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
Way better than I could do.
And half the time Ripcord's just in a chair
it's
that's
okay
like
to-
moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's okay to say it's terrible. I know we couldn't do it,
Yeah.
but they spent $175 million,
So much money.
and this is as good as they did.
I understand it takes time.
Yeah. More than skill, it's usually a time factor. Honestly,
Right.
with films looking crappy on the back end of the effects, is that these guys could do better work, but they've got to meet ridiculous timetables
Right.
to get it out. And so a lot of times that's more at fault than the guys just like, we just hired an effects guy that didn't know how to make a person move right. Like, no, you just told them they had to do it in 2 weeks.
Right.
And that's what you end up with. So it's not even really fair to those guys because those guys do good work.
Right.
Anyway. Meanwhile, Duke tries to grab the warheads and run 1,000 miles into the snow.
Where were you going to go?
Yeah.
What were you going to do?
And I was like, that was a valid question.
yeah.
Well, I'm right there with you, Storm Shadow. But he's as stupid as a fox because he really was just trying to reactivate the tracking on the cases. So inside,
So that it would send out like a
the Joes.
signal so that they could.
but the
track
Joes
them.
already figured out with sunbeam shadow math where they were,
Yeah.
Nailed it.
where they were on
If you
the
take
planet.
the size of them and you
Sunbeam
times
shadow
it by
math.
Right.
your shadow.
That's
Yep.
that's my chief
You can
name.
tell where they're at.
Sunbeam Shadow Mouth.
They already know where they're, but the tracking's supposed to help them out too. All right. Anyway, they get inside the base and McCullen kisses Baroness right in front of Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, do you like that? Does this bother you? Do you hate this?
Yes, it does. It made me very angry.
It would, regardless of the situation.
Poking the bear.
I know,
You I was
honestly.
like, don't be screwing around. This guy's like got plot armor. All right? He's
like
already
a-
not died like 8 times.
Right. He took an airstrike to the
I'm
face.
just like,
All I got was a scratch.
yeah, watch out.
Yeah.
I don't know, just being her, kissing him,
Yeah.
or Channing Tatum.
And Channing Tatum is right there.
I mean,
It has to be mind control.
yeah.
That's the only
yes,
explanation.
it does.
Right? And he walks over and Channing Tatum just headbutts him right in the nose. And he's got that big Cro-Magnon looking forehead. You know what I mean?
I was
right?
gonna say maybe it fixed his face.
Didn't help.
The display of raw masculinity did something because it started triggering these like flashbacks in her lady bits. You
She's
know,
like, oh. It was just like Resident Evil. She's like, oh, everything I can remember is just about sex.
something
I'm remembering now.
is starting to
I remember you're such a good dancer.
overpower me. There's a clip. One of the flashes is a clip from Step Up.
Yeah.
It's just him dancing in his tee, in his sleeveless
Like,
tee.
oh, that wife beater. You wore it to the funeral too. I remember.
Look how I pop and lock,
It
girl.
wasn't a normal flashback like that happens in your brain. This is why I think it started in her
Synapse
crotch
shots, yeah.
because it just was like
Flashbacks
sending,
always start in the crotch.
it was
James.
just sending these like pulse images.
It's like you know those wacky rings when you shake hands with someone and it's like zzz. She had one of those.
Yeah, Joy Buzzer.
She had one of those down yonder.
Well,
Wow.
Fantastic. Let's market that, G.I. Joe.
We're going to
bad
think
guy.
about that later.
Next from Hasbro, the Joy Buzzer.
and fish cameras.
6,000 uses for Joy Buzzers.
Because
cameras.
I'm like, they're not going to get away. They've got fish cameras swimming down there, man. G.I. Joe thought of everything. dude.
Everything.
They're prepping Duke to have the zombie procedure, and the doctor is there with him. And the whole time, Channing Tatum is as unbothered as anyone.
Nope, he doesn't care.
Strapped
It's like he's
into
laying in a
chair.
tanning bed. It's just,
It's just no,
this is fine.
nothing conveying the stakes of the situation at all.
No.
Nothing.
This is from a guy who has read the script too much. He is not surprised by what's haping around him.
That's what I'm saying.
It would have
He
helped
already
to
knows
be
he wins.
surprised. Or no, it's because he was in an empty room.
It's because there's nothing there. That's right.
He's like, so what does this room look like again?
And the creme de la creme acting from Channing Tatum in this scene, where he basically is like, "So Doc, who is you? Rex, you son of a bitch, and I buried you."
I love that Rex is wearing a wig.
Yes.
Because like, why? Wait, that's the wig you chose?
Yes.
Why would you just be bald?
You would look more menacing.
You would look more menacing if
With
you
your
didn't
nut
choose
cup.
this mullet wig.
Yeah.
What
With
were
your
you
nut cup
thinking?
face and your mullet wig.
The hairline was way too far back.
Yeah,
Looks
and
like he
he,
had a
like-
6 head.
Yeah, and he like takes his mask. He's like, oh,
Instead of a
it's
forehead.
me.
He had a 6 head instead of a 4 head.
Like Tyra
That's a
Banks.
pun.
That's it. Oh, all right. Rack me up then.
Oh,
They
we don't know where we were. We're at 85.
sure.
Lights are going off.
The room's burning to the ground.
And I buried you. He's like, I'm sure it was a lovely ceremony. Flashback then
I'm
to
gonna pee my pants.
flashback.
We gotta wrap this up. Come on.
I'm trying. There's a flashback where Rex ran into that building before the airstrike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Benny from the Mummy is in there. I'm like, they got the whole cast except for Rachel.
That's Dr. Mindbender.
Okay, cool. It's just like,
He's from the original series.
I thought it was just random dude. See, that's cool. I would have never known that was a guy from the series.
Because he says he actually says his name. Mindbender left me with all the knowledge of this and that and the other thing with the nanobites.
So he seals them in this bunker.
Yes.
He gets so hard because there's information.
Yes.
Rex does?
Yeah.
He goes full nerd.
He usually goes on the computer and they have Norton's antivirus.
Yeah.
Pops up. And I'm like,
And
that's
wasn't it
how
like
they
it was like Cisco. Doot, 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 doot.
that's how you stop the nanobites. They just
Yeah.
needed the antivirus.
Yeah. Done.
Dunzo.
But yeah, he's super excited. And then they just show him like nerding out. And then, like you said, they show Mindbender closing the bunker.
And Benny says, if we survive, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that's it. They leave it to that. Then they
So that's why
fast
he's all
forward back to the explosion.
that's why he's all
Duke
deformed. And
taking
stuff,
a
right?
explosion to the face.
And we also find out Rex doctor says Anna doesn't know that I'm Rex and she never will. Right? I assume that's why she was being a bad guy.
Right.
Is to back up
It's
her
like,
brother.
how did she get into this? Like just
Right. We're about to find out. The Joes get there like up to the ice part, not underwater yet, but up to the top just in time to see the 3 missiles for Beijing, Moscow, and Washington launch. And freaking Snake Eyes takes out an ICBM with a snowplow.
Yeah. He jumps on a snowmobile.
A snow blower or whatever the hell this thing is. Like, did that dude just take out a freaking missile with
Where's he going?
snowmobile?
Good tracking on that.
It's incredible. And then, of course, the other two, like, somebody's got to get up and chase the other two. And if we think
rip
all the way
cords.
back,
Oh, they were just
He's
like,
been
man,
flying
this is a sweet plane. They actually made one of these?
oh, these are fast planes. Wish I get to fly one time.
Here's your chance.
I guess I will.
And they earlier said these missiles go Mach 5, so nothing can chase them, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. Okay.
Oh, did they make this plane? I heard it goes Mach 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Really interesting.
Really?
That's convenient.
I bet you I can
Additionally-
fly it. Only if you know Scottish.
It didn't. It didn't have to go Mach 6 either, because apparently whoever flight path these freaking missiles is just shortest of all buses.
They've got these guys with hollowed out nanomite brains doing everything,
Like,
dude.
this thing is zigging and zagging and serpentines. Like, you would have got there an hour ago in a straight line.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anna comes and interrupts the procedure before Duke is able to be turned into a zombie and just it hits Rex over the head.
No.
No.
Duke.
She was having more like of those like crotch flashbacks. You know,
Yeah.
and she's back there watching the procedure through a window.
Those are strong, man.
You know, and
Crotch
finally
flashbacks are where it's at.
snaps out of it, and they kiss without saying a word to each other.
It would have
Yeah.
been so funny if she like ripped off her wig and had
Yeah.
like the blonde underneath. Like, I'm back.
I'm back, baby.
I'm back, baby.
After they kiss, though, he notices the like
Cobra symbol.
Cobra symbol brain control thing
Yeah.
behind her ear. And I like how Rex is like, how did this happen? I've never seen anyone override the programming. The raw sexual chemistry of Channing Tatum short-circuited our entire system.
Yeah, it did.
We could have never accounted for this.
Too bad it wasn't his acting ability.
100%.
All it took was him headbutting him in front of her. And just,
Oh God, yeah, all right.
ripping the tape.
I'm so ready.
Just broke through the mind control.
I'm also married
Yes.
to like some other dude, and then
Yeah,
this
he's
dude-
dead. That
He's
doesn't
dead.
count.
It's fine. It's all
Widowed.
good. It's fine.
Oh my god!
I'm a dude disguised as a dude as another dude.
And then you get General Hawk. Just deploy the frickin' sharks with the frickin' laser beams.
Attached to their freaking heads.
Here come the sharks. I'm like, they got laser sharks. That's awesome. Duke, I was so happy about this before because Rex books it with, well, McCullen, first of all, I'm skipping ahead. Duke grabs, I was so happy about this, grabs her overpowered sonar gun.
Yep.
I was like, finally.
And blast him.
And shoots this flamethrower straight back into McCullen's face.
Yes. And he just eats it.
He doesn't get a little scar under
No.
his eye.
And he's like, my face.
His skull is sticking out the back of his
He's got no ear on one side.
Oh, not everybody can have the plot armor of Channing Tatum. He eats this thing, and then they take off. Rex and McCullen.
He's like, let's go. We got to get out of here. We still got things that we can do, kind of thing. Like,
Right. And Anna, Duke chases after him with Anna.
Yeah.
Right. Scarlet shows up, starts lasering dudes. Snake Eyes is fighting his way to the control room. They're trying to shut down this giant cannon that's taking out the Joe sub.
Yep.
Inside. Ripcord, we cut to, and the frickin' two went like this in two different directions. One went to Moscow, one went to America. And I'm not going to try and do a math word problem here, but he goes after the Moscow one first.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you got to get that one, and then you can go back for the other one.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, because of a
makes sense.
certain amount of minutes and yada, yada, yada.
Because if two rockets leave the Arctic cap at the same time, going in two different directions, both will arrive. All right, I'm not going to do it.
I thought you weren't doing this.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm
All
not.
right. No, that's okay.
Other than to
But
say,
if they were on a train
it doesn't make any damn sense.
And, one
and
was
that
going
train was
55
heading
miles.
west,
Because if they're both launching at the same time, you're going to get all the way to Moscow and shoot that rocket down, and then turn around
You're
and
doing Mach
head.
6.
Well, they
Six, man.
shot it from way
West.
closer than Moscow. Well, and
Yeah.
like I said, the pathing was bad.
Yeah, that's true.
This thing,
I'll give it to him.
it's a bad missile. It doesn't understand. It needs to go straight.
He gets there and he's like, "Hey guys, there's no button to fire any weapons in this airplane. So
Fire. Go.
Just say fire.
Boom.
Yeah,
It's
pop,
activated.
pop a cap.
Yeah.
It's likely that one.
That one had worked. Oh, dang. Okay. All
right.
I know he was. I don't know he was down like that. But ends up being Celtic, right? That he yells. I think was it Tahang?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, that's the orange stuff that you turn into orange drink.
To hang.
yeah,
To hang.
To hang.
that's what the astronauts.
To hang Kool-Aid.
That's right.
Cuts back. Snake Eyes finds Storm Shadow again, and so it's round 2.
Yes.
Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow, and there's like electricity
This was
too.
round 87.
Right.
They also had crotch flashbacks.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that
About each
Snake
other.
Eyes has winter gear.
Yes. Now he's white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just his face mask. And then there's a moment where he like touches again, the armor turns black.
Yes.
And now
Yes.
we have no lips. No lips, Snake Eyes.
Nothing. Finally.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh,
That's what happens when he gets pissed.
they just disappear.
I'm going smooth mask on you, and you're dead meat.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You're done.
Duke, Rex and McCullen get away in a boat, and Duke and Anna are running up to get in another boat to chase them. And like 6 guards come out. He shoots one trigger pull out of this gun, and all 6 guys go flying.
Yep.
And I'm like, this thing's
want
ridiculous.
one.
It's just ridiculous. They get in the boat. Now they're chasing underneath the water. These other guys, they're like submarines, but they're boats, but they go underwater.
Like submarines.
Like
Yeah,
Stingray.
but they don't look like submarines. Is what I'm saying.
marine.
They're not like long, smooth shafts that look like 2 sets of.
What?
Wang, pay attention.
What?
Sorry.
My lady bits are starting to have
I'm starting to get some
flashbacks over here.
flashbacks over here.
Snake Eyes has I thought the fight was good with Storm Shadow, but he ends up it's seemingly killing his brother.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes looks like he wins, and there's like this moment where he doesn't speak, but you imagine he's saying like, bro,
Oh no, bro.
bruh.
You sucked.
Ripcord makes it all the way back to Washington and chases this last warhead up the freaking river
Yeah.
and all around before finally blowing that one out of the water.
Yeah, he misses one shot, and then he gets another chance to get another one in.
Yeah, the thing just totally juked him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Like, I got radar lock. Fire. What the?
No,
You
don't.
son of... deploy your foil. Like, wait, what?
And then he ends up getting covered in nanomites himself and takes them up to space.
Right, because
Yep.
they entered the lower atmosphere, which means the nanomites would have fallen to the ground and survived.
Right. But his engines apparently were the last thing that they ate because he still had enough thrust to get all the way
Right.
up to the upper atmosphere.
Yeah,
Got
get
it.
out.
All right. Anyway,
Meanwhile, Steph's over here thinking about Duke's thrust.
Flashbacks.
Now,
now she is. Yeah. Rex tells the bad guys on the horn, right? Doctor, detonate the ice pack.
Yes.
I'm thinking
Is this
like
what this is called?
I'm thinking like an ice pack
Yeah,
from
like-
sports
I
injury
rolled
where you
my
just
ankle.
and
Yeah.
then it gets cold. You know, you
Yeah,
break the
shake
thing.
it up.
Yeah.
He's talking about the ice cap that's above. They're in the polar circle, right?
Okay. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Detonate the ice pack.
Yep.
He detonates the ice pack.
He goes
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And then the ice starts falling through the water into the base. And I'm like, in a movie where we're supposed to suspend disbelief because this is a cartoon, but they have given us the laws of physics and motion and everything. It's like ice does not fall through steel like freaking meteorites. You know, it floats. You're going to blow up the ice cap and it's going to stay
just it.
right the hell there in a bunch of pieces.
It's not even something you could plausibly get away with. Ice very famously floats. every glass of iced tea you've ever had, and you're
Heavy
like,
ice. They've
heavy
got
ice.
no, we've got really heavy ice. Maybe they have a super heavy ice gravity generator under the base.
Super
this.
heavy
As this
ice
blows
gravity
up, it just
generator.
sucks the ice down.
And that's why I was saying earlier that it's a really weird, like, self-destruct mechanism.
Yes.
Especially for an ice base.
Ice it up.
Yeah.
But initially, what I can say
Wait.
is like,
Doesn't ice
blow
float,
the
sir?
ice pack, and I looked at my wife and I was like, I wish I was an ice pack.
Doesn't
It's
ice,
just raining ice packs.
doesn't ice float, sir? Shut up. Do what I said.
Shocks that guy dead.
the
Anybody else got
contractor-
any ideas? No, sir.
The contractor on the ice pack detonating installation crew was like, this fucking guy's an idiot. Just cash his check. Let's go. Let's get this
Let's
done.
put these bombs in a circle.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. And then we get out of
Build
here.
as we go.
We're going to make so much money. Don't say
We're
a
going to move
word.
to Paris and we're going to buy the Eiffel Tower.
The Eiffel Tower is destroyed, sir.
Step 3.
Damn it!
Profits. All right. Rex, meanwhile, after he tells me that the aspect is shooting up McCullen with this red syringe full of stuff, and he just starts to freak out, and then red nanites course through his veins, turning him into the very famous character, Metal Face Guy.
Destro.
Destro.
There you go. Leader of the
face.
Iron Grenaders.
Is that okay? Thank you.
Metal face guy.
Because there's a point early in the movie where he talks about his ancestor and said they called him Destro.
Right.
So really, he's
They called him Destro.
Yeah.
the other guy was Destro.
Right. But
Not
it's just
He's a poser.
They keep using the same name. There's no originality here.
Destro Jr.
Okay, Destro the
DJ.
eighth.
DJ.
DJ didn't sound right.
I got you.
They didn't want to call him CC.
And then Rex,
Cobra Commander.
Rex is also putting on a new apparatus and a whole new voice.
Yep. Which
so much deeper.
as a G.I. Joe fan,
Yes.
that was not cool. Because he did not look like Cobra Commander.
No, I knew enough to at least know what the hell Cobra Commander looks like.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, call me Commander. And I'm like, oh, geez.
And here's the thing with this. So, like, I don't know how many people know this, but the deeper voice was done by, the deeper voice was done by Arthur Bernhard.
Okay.
That's the original voice of Destro.
Oh.
So the original voice of Cobra Commander Chris Collins, he passed away in like 94. So there was no way of getting him, obviously, in 2009. So they kind of paid homage to the original series by letting Cobra Commander's deeper voice be that of which actually was Destro.
The voice didn't bother me as much as the look did.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I thought it was kind of a neat, I guess, homage to the original series and to that guy that made, Arthur, who made Destro so famous in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Because him and Cobra Commander and, like, there's some iconic voices that were in the original series, and that's 2 of them.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah. It should have been very easy for them to do the look properly, though.
No, absolutely.
Like,
and they kind of made up for it in the second one.
Okay,
but,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Joseph
watch the
Gordon-Levitt the
second
commander in the second one?
No.
Oh,
I
that's
think they recast everybody, didn't they? Except
Everybody.
for-
Well, this is what.
Isn't Channing Tatum still in it?
Yeah.
though?
No, for 5 minutes.
Oh.
They
lame.
basically just like he gets captured and they
isn't
have
The
to go
Rock in
rescue
it?
him.
Isn't
So
the Rock
they,
in it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
they basically said, you know what, you weren't good enough in the first one.
No.
We're just gonna write you out of the
He
second
really
one.
sucked. It's just,
ridiculous.
You're a good dancer and all, but
Duke pulls up in his. I was so shook by this. He pulls up in his boat, and he's like, "This is Duke Hauser." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
You're related to Duke, man.
I was like,
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Hauser.
"What?
Sweet new button.
Come again?" Freaking, we just did Total Recall on GMR, and as soon as we're watching that clip, and he shows up, and I was like, every time, Bob, I introduce you on the show, I'm hitting
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Hauser.
That's perfect.
every single time.
love it.
But then I'm like, well, I can use it on this one because it literally out of nowhere, he drops his last name is freaking Hauser.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, hold on, is this a great movie?
it's meant to
This is the best movie I've ever seen.
be. Suddenly, I really like this movie.
You're coming with me. He goes, you in what army?
My army.
And then here comes
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, that's 18.
A-Team.
Da, da, da.
And then I thinking, all right, showdown. No, smash cut to them in laser cages, just immediately. Destro and Commander. I'll get you next time, Gadget.
Right, like, what? I was like, oh, okay. They've been arrested.
Next time.
And they just have to stand there for the rest of their lives in this
no
fucking laser cage.
I gotta get a chair in my laser
Can I
cage.
get a
They
toilet?
accidentally like lean on the lasers.
No, he just has a pee in his mask.
He's just gotta try and thread the needle with the laser bars and get his butt out
no
there.
thanks.
Ooh, fun game.
Duke and Anna kiss in prison, and I will gonna help you figure out how to not be bad anymore. Whatever, stupid. I'm so ready to be done. I didn't
Bleach
even
your
care.
hair.
It's like, okay, fine. Oh yeah, and by the way, the president's evil now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which does not pay off on the second one.
You know,
That was for the fourth one.
I know that they had him whistle that stupid freaking song so many times so that you obviously understood in the end. Oh, he's the president.
yeah.
But did they have to have him do it like 8 million times throughout the movie? He does it like 4 or 5 different
No,
times.
they really hammer everything.
Yeah, they
home.
hammer it.
They
into your
hammer it. They
brain.
need you to know, and knowing is half the battle. That's G.I. Joe.
Yo, Joe!
All right, guys.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think we can definitely make this movie better. I think we could do it very easily and in a very short period of
I think
time.
I know how.
Oh, tell me.
Oh my gosh. So what if Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it?
Oh, see? I didn't think about that.
Right? I thought that was just like a top, off the top of my
But
head.
you take the other old guy out of there and you just make him General Hawk, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Be great.
Sure.
In 2009, he totally could have done that.
Yeah, he would have looked great.
We need to know everything there is to know about her because knowing is half the battle. Right? And he could have delivered lines like that. No
Yeah,
problem.
that's his forte.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
dude.
I like that idea.
This is G.I. Joe. We don't want any little baby dancers. This is all my. I step up to the streets and I dance in little tank tops.
You step up to the
That's right.
streets.
I don't want
with
them
the
to do that,
flashbacks.
Make him do-
We're done with flashbacks.
And
More flashbangs.
Every time I get near you, I
No
start
more
having
flashbacks.
I start having flashbacks in my crotch, and I don't like it.
I don't
Make him
Okay.
piano.
So
the Baroness. Hello, Duke.
as soon as Duke headbutts him, he's like,
Duke. I'm brunette now. I'm evil.
You've already killed me once, cowboy.
Because his name is Duke.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Got it.
I mean, he could have been.
Hauser.
He already was Hauser in Total Recall.
So you're making him Duke now?
No.
He makes a return as a Hauser?
Could you imagine him as Channing Tatum's character in this? How much better this movie would have been?
Oh my
Absolutely.
God.
1000%.
Here's the difference in acting. When they strapped him into a chair he didn't want to be in Total Recall, what did Arnold do? He fought like hell, and he was covered in sweat. You blew my cover, right? He's going
And
crazy.
Channing Tatum was just like, I haven't gotten to sit down in so long. This is
Channing
nice.
Tatum-
This is nice.
This is nice.
Do you have a mint? Maybe a pillow?
Are those needles going to go into my face?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, rejuvenation.
I can't wait.
Spa day.
Like, you guys got Botox?
Got any cucumbers for my eyes?
Lucas Layton playing along with us says Arnold should have been Destro. In the old show, my guy was a massive human with the deepest of V-necks. How cool would it be with a complete Arnold with a complete metal noggin? Just overall, Arnold would have been more intimidating. It wouldn't be the first time they had to change a character for accent either, right? Come on. If he had been Destro,
That would have been great.
listen, in all my Scottish ancestors. Okay, and the McCollin is
They
a
could
family
just change
name.
it to Austrian.
McCaustrian.
Austrian.
The McCaustrians will rise again.
Give me my metal face.
He's kissing. Does this bother you? Do you like it? No, you don't, do you? He goes to headbutt
Would you
him
let
and
me
he just
touch you?
Channing Tatum breaks his forehead off of it. Arnold's face.
Makes like a Liberty Bell sound. Bing.
The helmet at the end is Terminator mask.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What if he stops kissing Anna and he just starts kissing his own biceps?
Say,
Well, you
What
like
about this?
that.
Does this bother you too?
I'm having flashbacks.
I had cameras in your base. I saw your little 50 pounds weight you were trying to lift and you couldn't do it because you're a little baby.
Your little baby arms and your baby chest.
That's right. Who knows how to pump, but I do.
What is your chest made out of? Baby food?
Let's have a dance off.
Right. No.
I definitely will lose.
No. Melissa Hewitt, Charles' better half, playing along with us today.
Nice.
We've got a Hewitt back on the show. Makes my day. Arnold would have been great as the doctor. To be feasible, they would have had to give Joseph Gordon-Levitt character some Captain America super serum and make the mask voice changer give him the Austrian accent. So still have Rex go into the building as Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but then
Come out as Schwarzenegger.
the
Just
doctor.
mutated.
Excuse me, is there a doctor here? Oh, it's me. I'm the doctor. As I look at got my little snake soldiers and they do whatever I want for them. But for me,
Oh my God.
ridiculous.
My face hurts.
I can't get the things freaking separated. Danny Ballinger playing along. And he says, trade one Arnold Vosloo for one Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold as Zartan, but keeping his accent until he replaces the president would have been great. No, just have him still have his accent when the president walks back out.
Then he doesn't have to whistle shit.
That's right. Hello, nice to see you. Hello, welcome to the Oval Office. Why do you sound like that?
I'm sorry. President, did you?
Yes.
What? Your voice sounds very different. Is there a.
No, I'm from Kansas.
Oh, that makes more sense. All right.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
That's right. Stop it.
You're not in Kansas, Dorothy. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
And finally, Ryan Morency says, low-hanging fruit is Baroness. Same outfit.
Do you like my nipples?
That's
you
right.
see how they're glittery?
You already killed me once, big boy.
Kill me
Same
again.
outfit. Same lines. Played 100% like nothing is off. But he also says, but true pick for this is Artan. Such menacing moments, and I would just love to see Arnold keep switching outfits and blending in on the assault on Joe Base. Oh, I forgot. You don't kill women and children, do you?
Like he puts on the outfit.
You
but
a
it's just all
pussy.
ripped up and tiny.
It looks
Like
like
the
after
Hulk.
the Hulk transforms.
Yeah, exactly.
It's back to him leading the camel in the desert,
Yeah.
right? It's just, it'd be so great. I think we could have easily made Arnold any one of these parts. It would have been fantastic. Put him in
Yes.
one of the acceleration suits.
He
could
is
have
the
been
He
acceleration
is
suit.
the acceleration.
Yes. What does this button do here? Oh, the thing had the Gatling gun around it. That was cool as hell.
That would be cool.
All right, guys, let's give out some awards, and we'll start with the Will Patton Award for Intensity. Let's go.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Yeah.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
That's my boy. My boy, Will Patton. All right. Did anybody bring the intensity that Will Patton brings?
No.
Correct. Who was the most, though, out of whatever small, shallow pool this was? Who was the most intense in the movie? Steph, you have first vote.
Well, it's a short, non-existent list. Honestly, probably Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Really?
Yeah, like he at least was super dedicated to that horrible character, and like they didn't do him any justice, you know what I mean? But he stuck to it and he did his thing. So
all right,
that's really kind of the only person that comes to my mind.
That's a vote for JGL. Here we go. Ryan Morrissey says there felt like a few good picks for this because a few good picks for this.
Okay.
Because a lot of individuals felt like they were trying to be their character every second they were on screen. Ray Park as Snake Eyes, Arnold Vosloo as Sartan. I'm going Christopher Eccleston, though, as Destro. This man kept it cool when needed, but you could tell his anger was just below the surface. Q1 earnings are coming up. He's on a budget in a short time frame, and he's got to deliver. That's good. I like that. Vote for Chris Eccleston. Kurt.
I had a hard time with this one because I love Snake Eyes in this movie.
Yeah.
That moment when he drops out of the plane.
Oh, dude.
I'm just like, yeah.
Let's go.
Do it. Just slicing people. Yes. But I got to go with Destro. I liked Destro in this movie.
Ooh.
I wasn't sure if I was going to like him when I first watched the movie. And watching it the second time, I was like, man, I really liked him.
Yeah.
And I wish I saw him in more things because I didn't realize what else he was in.
Was this only your second time seeing the movie?
No, I've seen it like 4 or 5.
Oh,
but
okay.
it was just a situation where I haven't seen it in a long time.
I got you.
So
nice. All right, that's 2 votes for Chris. And Lucas Layton says, intense is not necessarily a word I'd use to describe the performances in this movie. Although I genuinely enjoy most of the performances, I have to give it to the silent ninja himself, Snake Eyes, a.k.a. Ray Park. From Sith Lord to a clad in black ninja, Ray always has the most believable performance. Ninjas also just frickin' rule. His body language conveys more emotion in this movie than Channing's almost always ill-timed dialogue. That's a vote. And funny enough, right here on my sheet, I also have Ray Park as my vote for Snake Eyes. This isn't really noticeable in the performance other than, he embodied the physicality of it and was great. But also knowing what he went through in that suit and hearing him talk about how the thing was like a rubber band. So like everything like took power would return. And so he had to force himself to use up
it was a workout just to use the suit.
Just to use the suit, right? And I thought he killed it in this movie. And so right now we're sitting at a 2-2 tie between Chris Eccleston and Ray Park as we go to Melissa Hewitt. And she said it's been hard to think of someone for this, and I didn't see anyone super intense that wasn't cartoonishly over the top. However, this is a movie based on a cartoon, so I totally accepted that. For me, it's between JGL or the child version of Storm Shadow, Brandon Sue-Hoo. Ultimately, I plant my flag on Brandon Sue-Hoo, the Flaming Dragon Kid.
Wow.
Nice.
From the moment he was on screen, he was dialed up to 11 to the point where it was almost funny. That's a good vote there from Melissa. But with 2 votes to go, we're still at a tie.
Still at a tie. I want to make a joke vote first, Scarlett. She was intensely hot.
Sherilyn Fenn Award we can give to
Yeah,
her.
for sure. Let's do that. All right.
Yeah.
So instead, I will give it to Snake Eyes, Ray.
All right, Ray Park with vote number 3. Now, we have one more person, and if they go with Chris Eccleston, Steph's going to have to break our tie here because she'll be the only one that didn't vote for one of those 2 people. So we'll see here. Let's see what Danny Ballinger had to say. Danny Ballinger went with Lee Byung-hun as Storm Shadow. Really hard to pick, but he at least brings gravity to his presence on screen. When Storm Shadow shows up, crap goes down and drives the plot. That's a good vote, but that does mean that Ray Park is going to win the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
Nice.
Hell yes. And couldn't have happened to a nicer dude.
I love that the person
super cool
who got
dude.
the award for intensity didn't say a word in this.
Right.
Because you don't have to speak to be intense.
No, you don't.
That's because all the people
clear.
who were speaking
We're taking themselves out of the running.
out of the running.
I do that thing. All right, it's time to give out an award for who the worst actor was in the movie. We've got to answer that question. Who was the worst actor in G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra? And we've named this award after the worst actor of all time, Mr. Steven Seagal.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt. Yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
That's right. Such wisdom, such grace. Stephanie?
I'm going to have to go with Channing Tatum.
Why so sad about that?
I know. Don't hate me. I still want to meet you.
Well, we've always
I
said
mean,
He
this
Agency.
is-
just like
we've always said it's not a career award.
no,
It's
he
just for this movie.
yeah, he truly just didn't bring really anything to the role. I mean, I felt like he was just reading from the script, that he had like cue cards and it was like, okay, now you need to be a little bit angrier. Okay. It was just flat.
Yeah.
And
I really
No,
liked him in 21 Jump Street.
Yeah,
he
he's
was hilarious
hilarious.
in that.
Yeah.
yeah, and he has great movies. This just was not one of them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the fact that they dropped him out of the second one because it was so bad in the first one.
Right. Danny Ballinger said, really tough choice because of how many actors fit this. But I have to give it to Marlon Wayans, though.
what?
No way.
No.
Between the two?
His accelerator suit couldn't get me through his scenes fast enough. He barely edges out Joseph Gordon-Levitt in one of the few flashback scenes we get of him. Gets hit by two cars in Paris. The first doesn't make any sense when the van is parked and he falls out of it. Storm Shadow gets away from him for no reason after launching the nuke, and it's and it's only useful during the brief plane sequence at the end of the movie. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Danny. The character might have not been super useful in this movie, but I'm not sure if he was the worst actor in the movie. That's just my
No, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
He basically played every role he's ever played ever.
Yeah,
Right.
But
That's
if you didn't like him,
I mean, that's the same for like, Ryan Reynolds and
How dare you.
They all play the same character.
He did the movie Selfless. It was different. The rest are all the same.
who's your vote for?
My
Kurt?
vote was going to go to Tanning Tater Tot, but I
You
don't.
can't even get this guy's name right?
I hated CoverGirl.
She was bad.
She was like, you're the one small role you got, and you got 3 lines, and they just were so
can't
bad.
Tell me there's not another attractive blonde that can say lines like a human being. Like, she didn't even clear that bar.
And it's
They
like,
should have just used Anna when she was a blonde.
I mean, you interrupted
Interchanging.
General Hawk to give him his file, and you still weren't like,
Death.
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 The knife couldn't have come fast enough.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So that's my vote as
All right.
CoverGirl.
Ryan Morency went Dennis Quaid as Hawk. I know it's kind of a
That's
throwaway role, so we can have
kinda
a
fair.
Joe origin-ish story. He felt as flat as his hologram and phoned it in over Cisco telepresence.
Yeah, so I said Cisco. Okay.
So we've had 4 votes for 4 different people, but my vote is actually going to be the first double up here, so at least somebody's going to go into the lead. My God, did Channing Tatum suck in this movie.
Yeah.
He sucked. And I like him. It seems, by all accounts, a good guy. I love him in a lot of other movies. Generally, when he shows up, I'm not like, oh, no. Like, I like him. Just,
This
come
was
on,
just
man.
not the role for him.
Come on,
Either that or
man.
he just wasn't directed well enough to be successful
I don't
on
know.
this movie.
I don't know. It is bad news. Lucas says, honorable mention to Sienna Miller. I thought she acted well, but her writing was so bad. Well, that's not her fault. It's an acting award, guys.
Get with the program.
No, it's fine. I'm going to put another PSA out there again. I don't want to. I always hesitate to come down on the award givers because I'm just thankful that they're
Participating
supporting the
and
show
helping
and
out.
participating and they're having fun and that's cool. But again, It's not about the character was useless. The writing for the
I
character
found
was
myself,
bad.
I think, in one of the last ones I did too.
Yeah.
Like I hated a character. I was like,
Right. That's not what it is.
yeah. I wasn't right in that,
Right.
but I still did it.
Yeah.
I broke the rules and I liked it.
But I'm not criticizing you, Lucas. Your rewards here are awesome because he has the correct answer. The coveted kid can only go to one person, and it's Channing Tatum. I like the guy a lot, but he did Duke dirty with such a wooden performance. And again, terrible dialogue writing. I believe him in the action, but that's about it. He's supposed to be the pinnacle of an American soldier with the skills and wisdom of such, and Channing just had none of that.
I agree.
Miracle. Clint.
I don't disagree with Kurt in the fact that CoverGirl was terrible, but Channing Tatum was terrible on the same level longer.
Yeah, I was about to say longer.
so much more.
For so much more time.
Honestly, I was going to pick CoverGirl if she
Probably
had,
the most-
especially if she had been in the whole movie. I was like,
I was going to say original definition replaced with trash can
Yeah.
and get the same effect. Sure.
Yeah.
Whereas Channing's character actually had to exist.
But towards the end of the movie, when he was in that chair and was acting like he was
Right.
tanning at a lounge, I was like, it's it. I've switched my mind here. But yeah.
I can't take this any longer.
Melissa Hewitt, for her trash can, went, there are two potential candidates. First, Channing Tatum didn't put much emotion in his voice. However, his face delivered.
It always does.
This has nothing to do with his objective hotness. Yes, objective. All caps. Fight me.
Wow. She's coming in hot.
He's not even my general type.
So is Channing.
But he's good looking. My choice is the President Jonathan Pryce. Why? We didn't even mention him in this movie. It was Elizabeth Swann's dad from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep.
His
Kind of a throwaway role.
His British accent kept breaking through. It did. And it drove me crazy. Honorable mention for Sienna Miller's horrible wig. Horrible wig. But that is a vote for Jonathan Pryce, which means Channing Tatum is going to win the Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Ooh, congratulations, Channing. You can find it. You call me and I'll deliver it to you.
Perfect. It's the only time we'll ever deliver it, but she'll do it personally.
I'll do it for free.
Jackpot.
Next award goes out to an actor that didn't have a lot of screen time, didn't have a lot of lines, and had to do a lot with the little they had. So who is the unsung hero of the movie that from a smaller role made the movie better? We're talking about the Steve James Unsung Hero Award.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right? Yeah, right. Then there are those few who are. Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
Yeah, a lot of badass karate boys in this movie. Steph, who you got?
Brendan Fraser.
Oh, a really small part.
A really small part, but he makes everything better that he's in. And I love him. And I saw him and I was like, yeah!
For like 2 minutes.
For like 2 minutes. And I was like, this is great. This is fantastic. And I pick him.
I did want to add on before I go on because I missed this. Melissa wanted to add on to her trash can thing. Accents were rough in this in general. It was weird seeing Chris Eccleston, aka the Ninth Doctor, using a Scottish accent. My daughter even thought he was someone from DuckTales. So there you go. All right. So
Little throw there to Ed Abner.
Melissa Hewitt, yes, for her accent or for her Unsung Hero Award, went to Marlon Wayans. He has some of the best action hero lines. He was charming and could put emotion into his voice. So that's a vote for Marlon Wayans and a vote for Brendan Fraser. Kurt.
I'm going Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
He had no lines.
You're right. He didn't, and he wasn't in it a ton. He only had a few scenes.
I think he did fantastic.
All right. You can
So much, in fact, that they gave him his own movie.
I love it. So we're in a recent episode, someone won the Trash Can and Unsung Hero Award, I think, for the first time ever.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. That was Captain Chin from Samurai Cop.
Oh, that's right.
In Tango and Cash.
Oh, nice.
Won both. So you can be an unsung hero and still suck.
Yeah.
That's right. Danny Ballinger said he didn't give an unsung hero, so never mind.
There
Ryan,
were no heroes in the G.I. Joe.
Ryan Morency went Brendan Fraser. Why was this man not cast as Hawk or just given more of a leadership role? I enjoyed what we got out of him and wish he could have squeezed more somewhere in this 2-hour bullet storm. Yeah, Ryan, I agree with you, man, because I also went Brendan Fraser as my pick. Clint, who's your unsung hero?
My unsung hero, I'm going to go unbob on this one. I thought the kids fighting,
Yeah.
I want to give it to the two.
Fine.
The child actors that were doing the Snake Eyes and Stormtrooper guy, whatever his name was.
Yeah, that was
Storm Cloud.
Storm Cloud.
Storm Shadow.
I had half of it.
Cloud Shadow. Lucas came in and said, look, quick shout out to Brendan Fraser for popping by in the flick, but the unsung hero for me is hands down Storm Shadow. Byung Hun Lee, ninja simp, maybe I am, so what? In this movie, he definitely doesn't get enough time to shine, but I think he nails the cold, calculated killer that somehow also has a deep-seated code of honor. Maybe he's too popular of a character for the award, but that's all I can think of, so shut up. See, and I felt bad. I was just like, I feel bad coming down on these guys, and he just told me to shut up. You shut up.
You shut your dirty mouth when I'm talking to you.
Thanks, Lucas. We appreciate you, man. So that means that Brendan Fraser is going to win the Unsung Hero Award with all of 1 minute of screen time.
That's right.
Yeah.
I also want to correct myself.
Yeah.
I accidentally said Ed Absner as the voice of Scrooge McDuck. It was Alan Young.
Alan Young.
He was from Mr. Ed.
Got it.
He was the actual...
Dude, the internet
the
was
guy
about
that
to come
talked to
after
the talked to the horse.
The internet was going to have pitchforks out. And they were
Scrooge
gonna-
McDuck. I'm telling
it's
you.
not fun. I know.
No. It's time for a quick second. We're going to take a quick jaunt up BMR Mountain as we have actors who have done multiple movies. We want to say, what is their peak performance as to of yet on this show? Again, not ranking the movies, but their specific performance.
Who we got? Ray Park?
Old Jerry Akamura.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Jerry he was in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep.
As a member of the
gun-wielding ninja
Kong,
gang, yeah.
The Wing Kong, you know.
Wang Kong, yeah.
And then Samurai Cop.
Yeah,
as
Samurai Cop.
Akamura.
Yes, sir.
And then now as the Daddy Ninja in G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. So what we say was his peak performance as to of yet? I kind of want to say Samurai Cop.
I mean, it was pretty good.
Because in Big Trouble in Little China, he's just a random henchman.
Sure.
He gets stabbed in the back.
And this one, he's only in like flashbacks.
But I still thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
You know, but
I'll agree with you.
Samurai
I
Cop,
think Samurai Cop's the best one.
Dude had a full makeout scene in his black undies.
Yeah.
Right?
He did the flash so hard he went into another location.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything's ever going to top that.
No, that's pretty good.
So I
What would you go then next?
Then G.I. Joe, because it's actually a speaking role.
Yeah.
And then Big Trouble in Little China.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, you down for that? Have you seen You saw Samurai Cop?
I did not.
Oh.
Was I on it?
No.
I think you might have. I thought you were on Kids Sale.
I did not. Was I on it? You would have known.
All right. Well, then we can
seen
just
it
say
then.
that's what it is then. If they
It's
don't have-
done.
That's fine.
It's
done,
written
yeah,
in,
that's good,
in BMR
that's
Stone.
And we just move on. It means it's time for us to deliver our final ratings, which means we have to land on after kicking all the tires on this.
Can't we do Ray Park?
For what?
Well, wasn't he on Phantom Menace?
Yeah, that's only two though.
Oh, you got to have more than two.
At
You
least
can't.
three.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least
Never mind.
3. No, you're good. But yes, the next time we do a Ray Park movie, X-Men, then we can.
Oh yeah, he was Toad.
Yeah, then we can do a Ray Park Mountain.
All right.
Do that.
Sounds good.
Coolio.
I look forward to that.
Awesome.
X-Men, that's the one with Bruce Jenner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. All right. So, final rating. Steph, you have the floor. What are your final thoughts on G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra?
Boy, you know, this was a pretty trash can movie. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty bad. But I kind of enjoyed it. It was entertaining. There was a lot of action. I mean, the CGI was pretty bad, but I still enjoyed it. I'm gonna go with a bad movie that rules.
All right.
Bad movie that
BMR,
was,
first
like I would watch it again. You know, it's fun,
It's because of
and it has Channing Tatum in
it's
it.
kind of
so
the flashbacks, isn't
it's
it?
the flashbacks. I want to flashback this whole movie multiple times.
Love it. Love it. You just set it down there. Thanks. Awesome.
Pizza.
Actually made it here.
Whoa.
So okay. So Lucas Layton said honorable mention to see. Oh no, where does final rating? You threw me off. I grew up with G.I. Joe. I played with the toys. I watched the cartoon. I even had a Snake Eyes costume. This movie came out before I turned 12, so it's one of those perfect sweet spot movies for the age I was. I even read the novelization of it. It's good. And does it hold up? No, not really. But man, it still has that fun 12-year-old watching experience for me every time I throw it on. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely for me. Bad movie that rules. I still watch it unironically, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. You know what, Lucas? Hell yes. Woo. Don't be ashamed of the movies you like. Great take. That's 2 BMRs. And we're going to save Kurt.
Kurt's going to ruin it.
We're going to save Kurt. We got to save Kurt. So we'll go straight to Melissa Hewitt here.
Okay, Kurt.
And Melissa Hewitt said, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm a sucker for fun action flicks. I watched G.I. Joe religiously as a kid and had a few action figures.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting yourself.
The first time I watched this movie was at a good friend's house in Texas. My daughter was about 1.5 years old, and I kept missing parts of the movie because she wanted attention. This time I watched it uninterrupted while she was at work. How time flies. I call this a bad movie that rules. It's not objectively incredible, but I liked it and immediately put on G.I. Joe Retaliation afterwards. Wow.
Yeah, I like it.
As an aside here, since me and Clint gave out the Sherilyn Fenn Award very quickly to Rachel Nichols, Melissa does say, if you do the Hot Babe Awards, I'll submit mine. There were many options for the Rain Award, but that goes to Brendan Fraser. Over Channing Tatum.
I was going to say Hot Babe Award goes to Channing Tatum.
Wow. He was my hot babe for Encino Man too. I had the biggest crush on Brendan Fraser in the day. My female hot babe goes to...
he is fine.
He is.
Like young Brendan Fraser. He's fine.
She does say, though, my female hot babe goes to Rachel Nichols, who played Scarlett. Let's go.
That's right.
The Hewitts always know what's up. I appreciate you guys. Here's what I'll say. I don't know. There are parts of this I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Ray Park as Snake Eyes. I liked Storm Shadow a lot. I thought Chris Eccleston was good. I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt was terrible as Cobra Commander. Not his fault.
But he was dedicated.
Not his fault. Just bad casting.
Well, and the secret reveal was so
lame.
Yeah, there was no
you could tell
build up.
Joseph
you were just
Gordon-Levitt
like,
has a very
oh, by the way, I'm Cobra.
Yeah, he has a very known presence, in my opinion, and like he's very recognizable. So even just like having his one little eye visible, it's like, oh, that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, and so he was terrible. Channing Tatum was terrible. So I think objectively you can't call it a good movie. So it's a bad movie. I kind of liked it, even though it really sucked.
It's okay. You can like what you like.
No, I
don't be ashamed, James.
I wouldn't turn it off if it was on. I'm gonna go bad movie that rules for me personally. So, Danny Ballinger says overall this is a bad movie. Basically, even a 4 out of 10 if he could. The pacing, overall acting, just bad. It sucks. It's stupid. It gets a +2 for Brendan Fraser's cameo and a +1 for all the G.I. Joe cartoon references. But yeah, Danny, not a fan.
That's a 7. He said it's 4 +2 +1.
Yeah, that's 70%.
By our math.
That's I suppose. All right, Clint, your final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Then I die?
No, final thoughts of the episode.
Final thoughts. Is it a good movie? I watched this movie. I was tired, and I figured I was going to have to rewatch it the next day. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, I enjoy it. Again, I watched the cartoons when I was a kid. I can't say I remember individual episodes or anything like that, or even the storyline per se. I recognize the characters. It felt good. It felt like the cartoon, sort of live.
Yeah.
I hesitate to call it a good movie. If this is a bad movie that's rules, this is a barely bad movie that rules.
Oh.
If this is a good movie, it's sort of a good movie. So yeah, I would say it's a bad movie that rules.
Okay.
Higher end.
All right. Awesome. Wow, I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
Honestly. And Ryan Morency, before we finish up with Kurt here, says, I hope Kurt's on this episode. As someone who grew up with these franchises and cartoons, I appreciate when a studio will pick up a franchise and attempt to give us a live action version. What I fail to understand is why studios need to change up some iconic characters. Cobra Commander's helmet? Why? Just give us the polished mirror. And every time they fail, they pull a mini soft reboot on the sequel and fix most of these issues to get the fans back in for number 2. Is this a tactic? Overall, this movie was all about the action, and it didn't leave any at home. It brought every vehicle, weapon, and spring-loaded missile to play. I give it a bad movie that rules due to its glaring issues with the story pacing, but its saving grace, Brandon Suhu, Once he killed Snake Eyes and his master at the dojo, I can only assume he turned to crime and became the leader of the Flaming Dragons in Vietnam. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. He goes, if there is a BMR mountain for anyone in this, please place this performance at the sign back at the entrance to BMR National Park. You guys are amazing and make the world a little brighter with your energy. Don't go changing. Appreciate you, Ryan. Thanks, man. That leaves us with Kurt, who can bring us home here. As a fan of G.I. Joe, what are your thoughts?
I am a huge fan. It was a show that I grew up with. It's something I watched religiously. I played with all the toys. I had the action figures. I had all the vehicles. It was something I asked for Christmas every year. I know the characters in and out, and I love this movie. I love this movie in a sense of we got to see Snake Eyes. We got to see Scarlet. Scarlet's awesome wrist-mounted bow. I mean, it's all fantastic. Storm Shadow was great. I wasn't a fan of the love story. I wasn't a fan of how they dirtied up Cobra Commander. I liked the form of Destro. So ultimately, I have to say, this is a bad movie that rules.
Wow.
I wanted to go good movie only because it's so nostalgic for me, and there's just there's some fun stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I have to look at it for what it is and what it became, and it is just a bad movie that rules.
All right, man.
And a fun little story I'd like to share was I exposed this to my daughter.
Yeah.
And she liked the movie. She thought it was fun.
Awesome.
So a kid that's 7 years old, but the one part that made me laugh really hard was when General Hawk came on, and she goes, "Is that the dad from that girl movie that I watch?" And I go, "What girl movie are you talking about?" And she goes, "Where the two twins flip?" And I go, "Parent Trap?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I go,
"Sure is."
"Oh, the one with Lindsay Lohan." Yeah, I was like, "That is him." And then I went,
"No,
oh
should've
yeah,
just said,
that
no,
is
that's
him."
he's actually a knight of the old code. That's that's who he is."
So anyway, but yes, ultimately, bad movie that rules.
Well, I think we did a good job of at least picking out the parts that were fun and awesome and,
absolutely.
and taking those out. And yeah, the movie just has a lot of problems and issues. And I'm glad you mentioned that one part. Just the absolute zero build up to the big reveal of Cobra Commander
it was
such
lackluster.
Such a sin when you have an opportunity to do this big thing. And you literally structured the whole movie as to not blow that's who he was.
Right.
Right.
Only to then get to the point where you finally get to pay it off and you're like, oh yeah, he's Commander.
And they use Dime Store Cobra Commander. Like,
Yeah.
chrome face, dude.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
No, I agree, and it's not a hard costume to.
No.
I mean, they did fantastic on the second one.
right.
It's Cobra Commander.
That's right. Next week, guys, and as you know, we've last few weeks told you DH9K has been down and out of commission, and we have our technicians, Ryan Madela, working on her, trying to bring her up to speed. And so for now, we're doing our random pulls from the list with the old random number generator like we used to do. And so I still have next episode here to give you guys. So Clint's actually going to be back in here next week for Last Boy Scout is going to be coming out next week. So can't wait to come in and talk about that one.
Bruce Willis.
That's going to be a lot of fun. So, and next time we see you guys will be down the road, and whatever movie that's going to be, we'll figure out down the road.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thank you guys.
Movie down the road.
That's right. Thank you guys all for being here. Thanks, Steph. Thanks, Kurt and Clint. And I'm James, and we're going to catch you guys on the next one. Just waiting to see if I'm just waiting to see if anyone's gonna sing.
No red lasers.
I really need to pee.
You can do it 20 seconds from now.
19. 8.
It's almost time. Now I'm curious if I nailed that. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He did it.
I was close.
It's so warm.